folks.
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to the Pretend Friends podcast. Your number one Young Sheldon fan podcast. We're going through every episode.
Yeah, it's a finale.
Pour one out for young Sheldon.
You guys see the finale?
You know what? Yeah, you know what's the messed up thing
hold
about
on.
the finale when they had him killed? I thought that was a little excessive. I didn't know. I didn't think it was required to kill young
I thought the
Sheldon
manner in
off
which they killed him was kind of
Yeah,
tasty.
I was actually fine with him. I thought it was a good way to end the show, but I thought it was weird that he died of AIDS.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, well, see, what happens is young Sheldon starts working for the government because he's a genius, and he accidentally uncovers the CIA involvement in the Kennedy assassination. So they had a dissident Cuban shoot him in the face in front of his family, which is a little inappropriate, right? Okay, but I mean, like in front of his family, the least they could do.
And then the shooter went bazinga. That's where it came from. That's where it came from. And then the Big Bang Theory is like basically just what his brain like sent to him as he was getting shot.
It's like the
head.
DMT hallucination.
Yeah.
It's one of those theories like they had about cartoons when we were growing up. You know,
my
like
God.
those like spooky theories about like what the truth was about those cartoons.
Oh, like which
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Give me an
Types of
example.
cartoons that our guest today probably was a little too young to be around
Probably
for.
not.
Our
alive
guest
for
Christian
it.
today.
Christian, how old
Yeah,
are
there you
you?
go.
Christian, would you like to introduce yourself, Christian? Say how old you are, where you from, where you live now,
ASL, sir.
and
okay.
another fun fact.
Are you legal?
Am I legal? Yes, finally.
Nice.
There you go.
Fuck yeah.
I'm an age between 0 and 100. I live in Soma. I'm a dude. I don't know. I work in software. I
Christian's a
make tools
dude.
for other developers.
It's really
There you go.
narrowing it down here, baby.
Do you want my exact address? Like 1140.
That's the cool thing about tech. You talk to people like, oh, what kind of tech you make? Oh, I make tech so other people could also make
Yeah.
tech with it. It's just like layers of
We put tech in
Yeah,
your
oh,
tech so
yeah.
you can tech while you tech.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a software tool so other software folks can make software tools.
Yep, it's just the
Duh.
Ouroboros of tech. You're just
Yeah.
feeding it just every cycle.
Hey, buddy, can you give me $9 million so I can do this? And they're like, yep, here you go.
Yep.
Yeah, sick.
Yep.
Christian
I
is
used to-
joining us today after watching a new film that came out recently last night with us. So we wanted to
Yeah.
get Christian's thoughts on it. The movie was Furiosa.
Furiosa.
A Mad Max story. It is a prequel.
Mad Max Saga, sir?
A Mad Max Saga. Wait, nuh-uh.
Yeah, it's Mad
a
Max Saga.
yeah.
Well, it's a little presumptuous, isn't it? Like, whoa, take it easy.
Part of the
It's
Mad
Saga,
Max
yeah.
Saga.
What the fuck? You get lucky if you get there.
Is it just like a story in?
So
It's a
the
saga.
general
Like,
premise of Mad Max, if you watch each Mad Max movie, someone's telling you the legend of Mad Max. You're not actually
Okay.
seeing what is happening.
true.
It's just these legends that have been passed through the wasteland of this guy, Mad Max.
Okay.
So it's in the Mad Max saga it's like, because that's what it sums it up at the end. It's like, it's someone telling you the legend of Furiosa.
Okay.
Remember, because he was like, he whispered it right into my ear.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I guess we'll go around.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't
In
really
reality,
hit me in the moment.
Yeah, in reality, though, what actually unfolded was like just like the most pathetic, slow car chases. I feel like the actual reality that they're retelling was probably very mundane. Then.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
very excited about the future as much anymore.
No,
It's
you're
just
not.
fictionalized.
I'll start it off. First off, shout out George Miller, the legend, one of the greatest to ever do it. It's rare that you have a Hollywood director who can make a vision happen. A lot of the times you get these like corporate folks, they're at the whims of these companies, and they're just given projects and they do the best with these projects. George Miller is one of a dying breed. It's him. It's kind of Francis Ford Coppola, even though he's kind of out. It's Tarantino. It's Scorsese. There's not many people who can have a vision, get funding for that vision, and execute it in the way that they want. Every single aspect of this movie, and this goes for Furiosa and all the Mad Max movies, really is beautiful. It's splendid, and you can tell it comes from the mind of one fucking weirdo, because there's so many details in every little aspect of it, from how they dress, from how they talk, from how they present themselves, from little side things that don't even take up focus of shots, but tell a whole story in and of itself. Why is there a little person hiding in the cabbage? Like, why is this person, like, where did he get the horns for this helmet? And Furiosa is amazing. It's beautiful. I loved every second of it. I know there's some differing opinions here.
Nathan liked it the most. He even said that and tell me maybe you slept on this.
Wait,
and
we got to create mystery around that. We should come back to that.
I think you know
Okay,
what
I know what you're
saying.
talking about.
So everything you just said, I agree with for Fury Road.
Yeah.
And I liked this movie, but not to that extent of what you're describing.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
But why not?
Well, first of all, it was too long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
TLDR.
I think if that movie was an hour and 40 minutes, hour 30, 40, let's say 40, I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
How long was it again? Sorry.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
See, I didn't even feel
Fury
it.
Road, I looked it up.
Nathan was glowing.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
was like-
glad that you liked it to that extent. Fury Road I looked it up afterwards, 2 hours exactly, and I think that movie earned that runtime. That one it ends and you're like, oh shit, it's over, because it just grips you the entire time. Whereas this one, and one thing I realized is that like Fury Road is it's like in terms of like the length of time, it's a very moment in time, and they tell this story very like detailed stuff and whatnot. And this one, they're taking on a person's entire life.
Yeah.
So
that
I
big
mean that
difference
is,
for
and
sure.
if you watch the other Mad Maxes, there hasn't been a Mad Max that does that.
No,
So it's
no.
understandable that maybe made a few missteps trying to execute that.
Also, are we gonna see this person ever again?
Who, Furiosa?
Yeah.
Dude, oh yeah, he hasn't seen Fury Road. I forgot to tell you guys.
haven't
yeah.
seen Fury Road?
No.
Dude,
What
my
the
5-year-old
fuck?
had the exact response to him. He was like, you haven't seen Fury
You
Road?
definitely should have seen Fury Road before this movie.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for you now to watch it.
Actually,
There you
maybe
go.
this is a correct order, because I also said this. The problem with prequels in general is like you're always like, well,
Oh, it's a
when is her
prequel.
arm going to get cut off? You know?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So like,
Here it comes.
oh shit, you got hit by the car. Oh,
I had that
Yeah.
thought too when they introduced one of his sons, and his name is like Scrotus. And I was like, okay, well, he's not in Fury Road. I wonder how
Yeah.
he's gonna
And
die.
the other guy's
But then he
name
doesn't
is-
die. He doesn't.
No, it's
he's
Tasteful, though.
he's
I
there.
like that. I kind of like
Oh, yeah,
that,
that
where
was
it's like,
cool.
you know what? No, we're not gonna like make this neat like cookie
Yeah.
cutter
Yeah.
tie-in. I mean, it kind of does at the end though, but like, it was cool to be like, yeah, there's this other guy, and we don't show him die, and something just happens to him in between now and Fury Road.
Yeah,
But
And
it's
it
like-
doesn't
it's
matter.
that's George
cool.
Miller's
That's
genius.
cool.
Is if
Yeah.
you watch all of the Mad Max movies, there's so many opportunities for you as the viewer to fill in the gaps with your own imagination. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, why is your arm like that? Why do you have that helmet? Why are you acting like this? How did Bartertown get made? Well, how did these people get access to this oil mill? There's it's such a rich world because it doesn't spoon feed you every fucking detail about
I
it.
feel like I would have liked the runtime more if I was at my house laying on my couch under a blanket.
If I was watching
Christian,
it,
what did you think
if I was
of
watching it on my
Furiosa?
iPad, I'd like it, but no.
You watch movies on your iPad?
No. I was just saying, like, if you were just like at home watching it on your iPad,
No,
you'd like
I
it.
want it on my TV. I'm just saying, like,
if you were watching it on your fridge, it's just
Dude,
like-
you're watching it on an iPad like a poorly behaved child at a restaurant.
He has a pacifier in.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's fun to be, if I was in more comfort.
with that like rubber bumper around the iPad, so
Oh, yeah,
you're
if
like
I
you
drop it.
fucking across the room and you're like, he's completely
I
fine.
didn't like that scene. Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, Nate. Sorry, quick aside, Nathan. Do you like what's your take on like the whole iPad thing with the
Oh
children?
no, none. I'm not gonna let my
I think I
children have
noticed
smart
that.
devices.
Yeah, I love that. I love like when you go to Nathan's house in his living room. There's just toys everywhere.
Yeah.
and his kids are playing.
I like to play
all the toys.
Yeah.
Boys are
I
playing
wanna play
all
with
the
these.
toys.
Yeah, I try to like. Okay, I'm not perfect. Obviously, there's a lot of times where I'm just like,
think you are.
burnt out. I'm burnt out. And I'm like, fuck it, let's just watch a movie. But I try to exhaust every option first. Like, hey, let's go to the backyard. Let's like beat each other up with foam bats. Like, let's
Yeah.
do all of that before we resort to like watching something.
It's fun. Last time we were at your house, I put on a Black Panther mask, and then your child kind of sobbed a little bit.
Yeah,
But he was generally upset by me wearing
because
the Black
he's
Panther
very
mask.
racially conscious, and he's like, this is blackface. He's like, what are you doing, buddy? He handed you the Captain America mask. Like, all right, here we go.
Stay in your lane.
He's like, this is for you, honky.
Yeah, like honk it, honk.
So, what do you think of the movie, Christian?
Dude, that was the best iPhone commercial I've ever seen, man. It was so good. I love
what?
that movie. It was the best. Dude, that movie looks like it was shot on an iPhone 16. I was just waiting for them to be like, shot with the latest like iPhone 16 Pro Max on 4K. Because okay, like to be fair, like the movie looked really, really good. There was a scene where they have the scene right where they like shoot these guns to like signal people.
Yeah.
Right. So they like at the beginning of the movie they find this guy and they're like, he's like, oh, dude, the Citadel's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
And they take his gun from him. they shoot it at the ground and it like explodes with this red powder. Like fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Apple kind of ruined that style because like all the like shots are so saturated. And that's like Apple's entire like style. Like you just like
It's
take
true,
a photo, it's
yeah.
like hella fucking saturated. So
That's
they just like
true,
ruin
yeah.
that.
Same with the scene where Furiosa is, and it's a great little thing for the trailer, but she's behind like the metal gate and fire comes around her.
Yeah.
Kind of very
It
similar
wasn't
vibe.
incinerated.
Yeah, no, that's how the fuck were you not? There is some moments like that where, again,
just
you're
let it
watching,
go, yeah.
you're watching like an action movie and it's a legend being told to you by like a desert nomad guy.
Yeah, like
So
if
it's
you're
like,
sitting
kind
on
of-
with that, it's like, bro, grow up.
Yeah.
It's just,
The
like,
nice-
just enjoy the shot. It's a
Yeah.
good, it's a cool shot.
The nice thing they do though is like for a lot of the action scenes, they like fuck with like the frame rate or something where it's like
Yes,
they
There's
they like kind of
the
pause
most-
and then like speed up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
The most notable the time when that's like Mad Max's style. They do that
That's
a lot.
a Mad
in
Max
Fury
thing,
Road.
yeah.
They do
I
that
love
a ton
that.
of Fury Road,
Yeah.
but I feel like this
Yeah.
one was more like ham-fisted in. Like the scene where you could really notice it the most is when they're circling the cars and
Yeah.
Furiosa's hand, and at some point you can see a lady just like walk faster.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, they just did the.
But yeah, like one of the first shots in one of the first sequences in Mad Max Fury Road is when he's escaping from the War Boys, and like they speed it up like that, so it looks like
Yes.
a Charlie Chaplin
Yeah.
movie, and
Yeah.
he's just like getting out and like trying to like kicking them, and they're like falling off cliffs.
It was kind of like Charlie Chaplin where he like goes one direction, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
and he runs
Well, see, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. That's just like that's personal style. That's George Miller's brain. That's George Miller's like sensibilities. And it's just like you engage with so much content these days that doesn't have that. There's no little like touches of magic. Because a lot of these things aren't from a singular artist. They're like done by committee. Like, is there a single moment like that in like the new Star Wars trilogy? No.
No,
Is there a single? Did you watch
Somehow
Rogue
Palpatine
One?
has returned.
Yeah.
When Poe Dameron said that, I honestly got chills.
Somehow
That was such-
Palpatine has
That was such a
returned.
hard hitting line. That character that no one's mentioned at all in this entire trilogy up until now. You have no idea that Poe Dameron even knows who that is. And why do they call him Palpatine?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Emperor
they call-
Palpatine
it's
to
just
you.
the Emperor
Yeah.
at that point. Like, he's been the Emperor.
Yeah, he wasn't called Palpatine
Anyway,
once in
all right,
the
sorry,
original.
I got
That-
distracted.
that-
that's what I'm saying.
When someone mentions Star Wars, I just perk right up.
This is again a dying sort of thing where it's just like you can have a big blockbuster like this from someone's like singular vision, singular mind.
They call it a auteur theory.
Auteur.
Right? Auteur
Yeah.
theory.
But that there's a big. I mean, it's not coincidental that was the first Mad Max movie in 30 years, and it was that good.
Yeah. No,
Right?
it took Fury Road took forever to get made.
It's
shows.
it's the
Yeah.
culminate, but it's like the culmination of his entire Mad Max vision now with modern technology and like things that he can do.
Yeah.
And then as you go on, if we talked about this before, you're kind of tapped. Like you can't just create that again like 10 years later. I don't know.
Yeah, see, the problem too is, when I first saw the trailers, I had the exact same reaction that Christian had, where it's just like these shots look weird, like something looks
Yes.
off, and you realize it's like, oh, it's because he didn't want to go to Tunisia, wherever the fuck he filmed that first one. He didn't want to have to go to the middle of Australia and film everything in.
They did film in a desert for this movie.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
It was all on the. Oh, there. It seemed like there was less on location than Fury Road.
Okay, yeah.
I agree, but they did still film.
Well, that's good. But like
Like,
it just, the shots looked it looked like he was more reliant on CGI than he was for Fury
Yeah,
Road,
for
which
sure.
was like the selling point of that movie. Like everything is fucking practical except for the big storm and like a couple of other shots.
Yeah, what are you gonna say, Shane?
so I think the practical aspect of the stunt work and the vehicles and stuff is like what Mad Max is, like at its core, right? In addition to the things that you mentioned though, because like I do think like even in Furiosa, like the costumes are fucking so cool. And you're right, like it's like you can't really think about it's like a fool's errand to be like, why does he look that way? Like, why does he have like a fucking hat made of bullets? Like, how do you get that? It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, this thing looks
I like
Yeah,
that.
like,
That
they
was
all
like,
look-
that was my favorite cameo from
Dude,
someone from Fury Road was the bullet guy.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
there's
I like-
there's hella cameos. There's the people eater. There's the guy from Gas. There's the guy with the fucked up nose. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
But that was one of my favorite characters from Fury Road.
Yeah,
the
he
guy
was
goes
cool.
blind. He's like light the flare. I'm holding it right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't see shit.
Dude, that's sick.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I think that stuff is present still though in Furiosa. Like it aesthetically looks really cool. A lot of the ideas, the vision generally is really cool, right? Like those when they're getting chased by the other motorcycle group that uses like parachutes and shit and like ramps
Oh,
to
dude,
like
that's
fly in the air and
so
shoot shit
sick,
and
dude.
paraglide and stuff. Like I'm like, dude, that is badass.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things where it's like, okay, probably would be very, very hard to do practically,
Yeah.
but it's possible.
Yeah.
And I just think that I think Fury Road, I think this movie Furiosa is like sort of handicapped by the fact that it's going to be compared to Fury Road.
Yeah.
I think on its own,
absolutely,
it's
yeah.
like fine. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
if that was the
it's
first
like
Mad
what,
Max
you
movie
know,
in forever, I would have been like, oh fuck.
I would have been like, oh, that was pretty tight. Like,
but you
I
said the
guess,
bar is
yeah.
so high.
But I think like,
did.
yeah. So
And
my
I was
summation
like-
is that like, it's definitely no Fury Road. I think it was fine.
I think
And-
like for me, it hit all the marks that Fury Road did. All the chase sequences were amazing. The action was like you literally don't see anything like that these days. But I also was sold on like the character. Like I liked Furiosa. I cared. It made me feel emotion seeing her go through all of that. And like Anya Taylor-Joy like barely talks, but like her eyes alone, like her screen presence.
Well, to be fair,
Really
she has
kicked
like
in.
fish eyes, so they are very noticeable.
Yeah, she has like huge eyes. Like something about those huge eyes just like just draws me in, man.
hey,
And beautiful fish eyes, but they're fish eyes.
She's
on,
Anya
yeah.
Taylor-Joy, bro. She's just like chilling.
She got that buccal fat removal. I remember people were real upset when she got the buccal fat removal.
the
It's
fuck
like,
is that?
it's
What
like
is
you know,
that?
like
on your
you-
cheeks.
if you're listening to this, touch your face. Like when you touch your cheeks, you feel fat in those cheeks, right? Just naturally. But what you
Speak
can
for
do
yourself.
if you're Anya Taylor-Joy and a bunch of other fucking celebrities is you can get rid of that fat so you look like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're just
Like you had a
like
me-
perpetually doing a fish face.
Like you're
Yeah.
perpetually eating Sour Patch
You're
Kids.
perpetually you perpetually look like girl selfies from like 2009.
Yeah, exactly. And it works for her because it really brings out those giant fucking freak eyes.
So yeah, wait. So
Christian, what list do you like?
yeah.
I don't know if you like the movie.
I think that it like does a lot of stuff well. Like for having a character arc of one person over a movie that goes from like them being a child to like a full character was like actually done well. Like usually like they do it and then I just hate it because it's just like the child actor sucks or like you don't really care about the story. Like it kind of tied nicely in the end where she's like, I want like these memories and these moments back. They probably could have done like more with that because there was like some parts of it where I was like losing track. I was like, oh, okay, like why is she now like aligned with the like white dude whose name I don't remember?
Immortan Joe. How dare
Morton
you.
Jones. Damn, my bad.
Immortal Joe.
No, Immortan Joe. It's not Immortal Joe.
Okay,
It's
so
Immortan Joe.
the confusion
Yeah.
here should give me an
I'm
excuse
scared.
to forget the names. Okay.
Immortal Joe would be lame.
Yeah. Immortan. I just enjoyed it too. I enjoyed returning to that iconography of Fury Road 2, like the War Boys, their chants, like
I think they look worse in this movie though.
yeah, because it's more CG. It's more reliant on
It
CGI.
looks
or something.
It looks like that's. I don't know, man. Like, yeah. Again, it just sucks that you end up comparing this to Fury Road, because like Fury Road is better in every way, in my opinion. Like, it's just like a way better movie. but of course it is because a Fury Road is like a generational one in a million,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of a kind, like
One in a
truly
million.
Yeah,
a product
I mean-
of just like sheer ambition and like
Yes.
personal sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of those, what I felt is that Fury Road, one thing that's like the sauce in that movie is that it's impressive to watch. It's impressive to watch those guys on those like poles,
The poles
bend
that
down,
come down,
on
yeah.
real moving
So
vehicles
sick.
and shit.
Also,
you know what I mean?
also, let's be real. Tom Hardy better than Chris Hemsworth, and who's the other woman?
Anya Taylor-Joy. Oh, it's Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron better than Anya Taylor-Joy. They're just better actors. in it.
I cannot. I didn't know if I was.
You don't like
supposed to-
Tom Hardy and Fury Road?
No,
What
so
are you saying?
what I'm gonna say is that I just think they put Chris Hemsworth in a tough spot because I think his character had too many lines. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
he's
can't be
Ryan,
a
too.
villain who has like
Yeah.
60% of like the spoken lines in the movie. You
Also,
know?
it was-
Like,
it was-
you can't talk too much if you
Yeah.
want to be like intimidating and stuff.
True,
Like,
but Mad
he just
Max
spoke
does not say a word for like the first 30 minutes of
He
Fury
just
Road.
spoke so much though. I
It
just
was,
like,
he spoke
was
so much it
tired.
was hard to take him seriously.
Exactly.
Where I was just like,
yeah.
Or-
But that's the
or
thing,
know
like-
what
like-
he wants.
That's a Mad Max. That's a
Yeah.
Mad Max thing. Like where you have the villains where you don't take it seriously. They're always goofy. There's always like goofy villains. That's very much in the vein
I
of
guess,
Mad
but
Max.
There's
like,
goofy and there's effective.
I guess, but like
Yeah.
Toe
You know, it
Cutter
can be
was
both.
not whatever the fuck fuck Chris Hemsworth's character is in this movie.
Dementus. Yeah,
Like
it's a little,
that is
and
just
it does
very
beg the
different.
question. It's like, okay, why are you guys like following Dementus? You actually don't see him do anything that impressive.
Yeah,
But I guess,
yeah.
but I guess the general vibe of like his gang does fit the vibe of like the gangs from the old movies.
But
yeah,
that's
of
the thing
course.
is that it's the same thing, and that's why it bothered me a little bit. Where I kind of would have been more okay if they went like in a different direction. Like they just went somewhere else, you know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
some different part of the world that had a different terrain. I don't know, something, like white sand or some shit like that. Just something else. But like when you're setting yourself up to be compared directly to the last one by being in the same general location and having the same type of like stunts and vehicle work, you can see like, oh, this isn't really a guy in a dirt bike making this sick, crazy ass jump
Yeah.
because it doesn't have like the same weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see things crash and it sort of just
Yes.
like flies away like a cutscene almost.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
really-
sort of
Yeah,
like,
and then
the impact and the weight's not really
the
there.
nature
It's just
of
kinda
Fury
like-
Road really benefits it too, because it's like you guys were talking about, it's like one slice at a time, and it's just like
Yeah.
it doesn't give you a second to like stop and think about what you just saw, because that movie is literally all
The
one
pacing
giant
of
chase
Fury
sequence.
Road is
But then
like,
even
perfect.
if you
It's
do like
perfect.
if you just like, I don't know. I think that if you just, but I get why they couldn't do it again.
You can't just do that again.
Yeah,
man.
and also,
But,
like,
it would
that's
take
the
too
thing,
much time.
They
It
had
would
to
take-
lean more
Yeah.
on the writing. They had to lean more on the character development, and I thought that
Char-
was
char-
a benefit to the movie. I liked it a lot.
It's a divulgence for the entire series. Most of the series is about the car stuff and whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I said this to Christian during the movie. It was like an hour in when they had the first like big car battle, because most of this is like kind of fleshing out Mad Max outside of just driving and trying to kill each other while driving.
And it's like
Yeah,
the same interactions as Fury Road again, but worse. And that's the thing I was thinking about.
The
It's
car
just
thing or what?
Like when they, the best part
Yeah,
is like it's the
yeah.
same rig and it's
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
setup
yeah,
as
it's
Fury
the same-
Road.
he's
Yeah, so
just-
that
he's
part's-
just
And it's
playing
like,
the
why are you
hits.
just doing it again? Just
Yeah,
I
well,
did-
no, because it's like, hey, I'm gonna go see Guns N' Roses. Do I want to hear their
True.
Freeform
I mean,
Jazz
yeah.
album, or do I want to hear like?
I mean,
Wait,
yeah,
Are
you
They
gotta-
Singing?
one thing's a concert, one thing's like a movie. You know?
I know,
it was
but I
diff-
get it,
It was
though,
at
like-
least those dudes flying in the air, fucking doing all.
Dude,
there was
they
some
had,
new
like
stuff.
artillery
There was things
basically.
like-
It
so
just-
yeah, I feel like the ideas were still really cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I really love the the second in command guy with like the horns. He had,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
When he shows up and he goes rogue, I guess at some point.
Yeah.
Which they explain away kind of annoyingly.
Because Demetrius can't keep the gangs together because he's not a
Yeah.
good leader.
Yeah,
He's
showing
just
the,
running it into
the, the
ground.
deterioration of like
Yeah.
his
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
So
Like
then
he
when
takes
he-
this place over and just runs into the fucking ground, and people are like, "I'm not following you."
And he shows up on like a paragliding
That
like
thing is so
motorcycle
sick.
that has like a huge octust like type of thing flowing behind it.
Oh yeah, that was
shit
cool.
was
Yeah.
And I
so
liked how they
sick.
alluded to like them divulging where he tells that one guy to like cover himself in that white shit, and he's like, I'm not gonna do what I follow this guy.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that was his group that went like rogue.
That was his group that went rogue. Yeah, and they ended
That-
up killing those guys just to like sneak into Gas Town.
That was
which-
a sick scene though.
sequence,
That was a
yeah.
sick scene though when he chooses one of the dudes and they has some like fucking suicide bomb and he's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're not gonna not do what I say, bitch.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
cool.
that was really cool.
That
They were
was
like,
cool.
like pick one war boy, and then he just like jumps.
The one
in.
guy's like me, and he's like no, and he's like
Yeah,
oh.
like,
he,
dude,
he almost,
right,
he almost- he
yeah.
almost looks disappointed not to be able to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Though another staple of these Mad Max movies is all the side characters have a lot of personality and like no lines, right? You know so much, like that, like his little assistant guy that's like a freak, and he's just like what's going on?
The little
guy
guy?
who's like
The
the guy who's
tweaker?
like doing like hand motions.
Oh,
So
yeah,
because
yeah.
like you have to
Yeah.
assume
Yeah.
have to assume because you're in the post-apocalypse and like everyone's like driving heavy equipment that there's a lot of people in Dementus's group that just can't hear because they're
Yeah.
next to fucking loud ass engines the whole
Yeah.
time. So he's doing like see what I mean? It's like
I didn't
little
realize
touches
that.
like
I
that.
was like, why do they have like accessibility features? And
Yeah,
then
no,
that makes
because
sense.
like they're probably all, and then a ton of them probably just got like shot in the ear or something, or just like damaged really heavily. And
just
they
over
can't hear it.
time, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they also have that one scene where like the one gang like arrives into the citadel and that guy is like translating for the poor villagers. It was
Yeah.
like done.
Yeah.
It was done so
Yeah, 'cause they
seamlessly
can't
where you're
speak,
like
basically.
you just like
Or-
instantly got it. You're like, oh, like that makes sense why this guy's like kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Dude, that was like really,
Yeah,
really
and
nice.
also the guy who has history, the history man,
Yep.
like there's no paper,
Oh,
no one can
the-
write anything down, so he's tattooing all
yeah.
of that onto
Yeah.
his like he's
The
tattooed the
human-
history, all the history he knows of the human race, he tattooed on his body
love
because
that.
that's the only place that he.
How's
can
he gonna
put it.
read that?
Someone else has to read it to him, I guess. I don't know.
I love how he's basically like a human like Siri.
Yeah,
They're like, man, Siri, what does this word mean?
yeah.
Do you
yeah.
guys, do you guys think Chris Hemsworth was effective in his role?
I don't like him.
was a
Ever,
primary
dude,
antagonist, right?
ever since we walked out of Thor and Love and Thunder, I've had like a grudge against that guy. I don't like it when he shows
I think it's
up.
another situation of
Yeah.
he played his role. Just a role isn't good.
Yeah, he's like, oh, George Miller was like, why don't you be a little bit goofy? You're going to be the villain, but you're also going to be goofy. and at one point, there's going to be blokes riding up on little helicopters, like little paragliders. That's like the whole time. The whole time, like every little cool thing that happened, I can just imagine George Miller talking like a little kid, be like, wouldn't it be great if they're throwing bombs right there? And just throwing bombs right there on top of the rig? Yeah, that'd be great. And the cars are going real fast.
It's like, we have like the paraglider now. Now we're gonna send an actual glider. And they're like, oh, okay,
yeah, dude,
sweet.
Yeah, dude, that's what happens when you let a singular vision be made.
Man,
you
there
know?
was some really cool parts, like where they have the spinning chain mail thing on the back of the tanker, and then she ropes him into it.
Yeah,
she like attaches the rope to like the flying dude and like gets him into it, and it like gets fucked up.
I think
I thought that was cool.
There was okay. I think I also noticed. I wonder if like I'm just getting like I'm becoming cynical. I am turning 31 next week. So. Because I just kept I thought it was just 31. So funny to notice that sometimes there was like a couple shortcuts being made where like characters were seeing things that would have required some degree of practical effects from far away. There's a lot of like viewing from far away, right? And you would just see like a bunch of motorcycles do something rather than have a bunch of people actually driving motorcycles. It'd be like CG.
Yeah.
So it'd be like super obvious like that. So there's like a lot of scenes where there's like they're like there's a lot of like implied action. Like cutting away from something that was about to happen, or like, you know, when that guy does get sucked into the fen, it cuts away before you see what happens to him. Really,
I think that might have been more of like a ratings thing.
There's
like
no anything. No, I mean, come
on, bro. No, because they had that one scene. Shane, they have that one scene with the guy.
Hostel? There's like movies like Hostel that exist and shit.
That's true. I mean, yeah, I guess it's a
rated R, right? So it's like you might as well do whatever the fuck you want.
There's literally movies where people's heads explode.
They kind of cheated it though with that one scene where they tied like 5 motorcycles to the dude and then they like ripped him apart.
That's what I'm saying.
The dust comes up and all you see is like because
they
like
show one piece going like
you can say. But I really do think like like maybe what Shane's saying is correct, but I really do think there are limits to what the ratings will let you do. Like, I don't think you can actually pull.
To me, just the way that they let you fill in the blanks,
there's
was like
so many more violent movies that exist.
I guess, but for me, I didn't want. But it's not about like can it be violent? It's like does it need to be? And
that's fair.
Well, it's like the audience wants.
I think like kind of.
No, because I did not want to see his body actually
honestly,
ripped
like
apart.
there's stuff worse than gore in this movie when the mom is being held over a fire, literally being tortured in front of her child. Like no amount of gore is going to be like more psychologically damaging.
And even that's a little implied too, but it is pretty fucked. Now,
it's not implied. She's literally over a fire screaming.
I mean, but I still feel like his back's cover, like people's backs are covering a lot of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like
they do a lot of. There's a lot of implied violence.
There's a lot of implied violence.
You know what I wanted more of? More nighttime scenes because they looked amazing. Like that one transition, I forget when exactly, but
it was like a time lapse.
Yep, yeah. They like zoom into something and it turns from day to night, and the night is just like gorgeous, like filled with stars. It's
a trick called day for night. So they shot during the day. And then they just put a filter over it to make it look like the night. That's why it looks like really distinct.
Yeah.
You can do it really. It's executed really poorly in a lot of other movies, and it looks disgusting. But George Miller just pulls it off. Yeah. And like the sequence too. Since you're talking about time lapses, where she knows that she's. Oh, by the way, speaking of fucked up shit, way more worse than gore. There's also an implied almost rape in this movie where.
Oh yeah, that was like really.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
wait. I don't remember.
Remember, Rectus like sneaks into the thing and like takes this little girl. Furiosa is like 9 or 10.
Yeah,
and is like takes off the chastity belt. Like where else does your mind go?
Crazy.
But she was smart enough to like. Make a wig out of her hair, and then she slips out of it, and then she, which I thought was really well executed.
Cool.
But I was like, again, one of those things that's like he would have had to have really insist as the director to get that put into the movie. There's like a million other ways you can probably like display her escaping,
but I feel like it shows her escaping while also like showing why she wants to escape.
Yeah, and solidifying like how disgusting like both sides are of this. Like she's just stuck in the middle and she doesn't have a choice, which is a mystery in Fury Road. You're like, Furiosa is like such a good person, but like, hey, why the fuck are you helping these people to begin with? Which is like, okay, you can fill in your blank as a viewer. That's great. But like, it is kind of interesting to see like an understanding of like why. she decides to like why she ended up helping Immortan Joe to begin with, and then why she ultimately leaves. Like,
Yeah.
I think it fleshed out the character a lot.
Okay, so obviously I didn't like it as much as Fear. I think Shane probably likes it the least here. I like it a little more than him, and I don't know if I still don't know. You're kind of a mystery to me. What the fuck do you like the movie?
I don't think you liked it.
It's just one of those like it's one of those things where it's like it's just not for me. It just falls into that category. It's like I don't know, like
Yeah.
I really like the Mad Max world, and so I did like that. Like they added more detail. They kind of fleshed out the world more. I like the details they add. Like the reason that Mad Max world is like this is basically essentially like mass radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
And so I like the little like nuanced details they add to that. Like when the lady has a kid and has like it's like
like
conjoined.
all the
That's
two.
because like
Oh my
they're
God.
like they're fucked up. Like
Yeah.
they're like their bodies
That's
are
why
all-
they call them Half-Life War Boys, because like they're born with like heavy defects and they're all born with like cancer, so
Yeah,
they have a half-life.
and that's why there's like that's why there's sometimes like little weird looking like deformed head dudes. Like the guy in the,
exactly.
That guy was cool.
Yeah,
I
he's
like that
cool.
guy.
I was really sad when he died. I was like, damn, because his whole job is like making the boom boom go,
Yeah.
like he's make that little contraption go, and then he
There's
gets
a
shot in the
scene
fucking
where-
head.
There's a scene where it like zooms in on him and he's just like, he like drops down and he's looking at Shane like, oh my god, what the
He's
fuck
like,
was
wouldn't it be
that?
fun if you got a little bloke, right? He's got a big head, he's a little bloke, and he presses a button and it makes the mice go like that, right? Yeah. That'll be $20 million.
Well, I just have to find
sits
a bunch.
amongst the cabbage.
One of the so Christian, one of my closest friends, love him. One of my favorite things about our friendship is he is on the younger side. He is a Zoomer. He is our token Zoomer. So he hasn't seen a ton of movies. So I've gotten to sit down with him and we've gotten to watch all the Kubrick stuff.
Yep.
We watched Clockwork Orange, which
Yes.
Shane has a sick signed poster in his room.
Malcolm McDowell signed my
Another
Clockwork
movie-
Orange film poster. It's my
Yeah.
prized possession.
We watched Mulholland Drive,
That was
which
great.
fucking rocks. The Surrealist classic. We watched, what's some other highlights of the ones that we've watched together?
Barry Lyndon.
We watched Barry Lyndon.
That took forever to watch.
Yeah, that was like a
But that was-
3-hour fucking movie.
Very good. Jesus.
Yeah.
I can see why you guys think 2 hours, 20 minutes isn't very long.
Yeah, me and Christian
watching
go ham
3
on
hour
it.
I mean,
movies
okay,
casually.
like, but Barry Lyndon is like super interesting the entire time. It's also like it's now for some reason being picked up in like Zoomer culture because like you can just like put 21 Savages a lot. That one song over it. Yeah, because the movie is so long and like Barry Lyndon makes like all of the mistakes that 21 Savage describes in that song.
Yeah,
so he's
yeah.
like, you just
So you
cut
just
over
listen
it.
to that song, what,
Oh, good,
50
like-
times and then the movie will be over?
Yeah, or
We were
something.
talking
It's just
earlier
like a
about
supercut or whatever.
shot on an iPhone, but like this movie, it was like Kubrick only wanted natural lighting. So he had to get these old camera lenses that were created before camera lenses were made specifically to be filmed with like film equipment and film lighting. So they're like specifically designed to pick up natural lighting. Then that whole movie, there's no cinematic lighting. Like there's no unnatural light. All of it is just filmed with like the sun.
Yeah.
Like the whole
It's-
thing looks like beautiful.
Wow.
The whole thing is basically an oil painting. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You talking about this movie? We
No,
saw
I'm talking
it?
about Barry Lyndon.
Oh, Barry Lyndon.
No, I'm not talking about Furiosa, Mad Max Saga.
I was like,
But anyways, I don't know.
No, I was actually talking about Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I feel like we've. Is it anyone else
the
have
dead
anything else to
horse.
say about the movie?
well, fucking go see it.
yeah,
It's great.
I'll sum it up by
Encourage
just
it.
saying like, I mean, yeah,
I think it's worth going to. I think
think it
you
was
should
fine.
go see
I
it if
think
you
it
like
was
Mad
fine.
Max. If you like Mad Max Fury Road and you want
Yeah.
more of it, you should go see this movie.
I
It
think
won't
it
be
was
as good, but
pretty
it's
fine.
still good.
I think it is distinctly different from the DNA of the series. So like if you liked
That's
Mad
true.
Max 2, Road Warrior, or the first one, or Fury Road, for reasons pertaining to like the stunt work, or like a lot of the choreography, or the practical effects, or like the vehicle, the amount of vehicles that they got to use that were operational and also like creatively and like aesthetically distinct. There's not much of that in Furiosa. I think there's like similar concepts that are executed pretty cool, but like there's a lot of CG use. And I think that's what happens when you cast people like Chris Hemsworth. And you know what I'm saying? People who
Yeah.
are well paid and who are
Yeah.
not gonna, they're just not like, I'm not gonna hang off of a fucking rig. Like,
Yeah.
no. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Fair enough.
So You know, like when he's riding his chariot of fucking motorcycles, it looks a little weird because it's like, you know, he's not really doing that.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That is a nice
so
little touch. The
it's
little
just,
chariot.
it just like the first movie just like has the sauce, or Fury Road just has like the sauce, bro.
But like the whole movie, I was like,
so
how does that
impressive.
chariot work?
I feel like this movie was cool. Yeah, it was again, it's like a cool idea, but it's just not as impressive.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
wasn't as
Yeah.
impressed by this.
Yeah. Well,
So, but it's like fine. Like if you see it, it's a good movie. I mean, I wasn't like, I got really bored. I think in the second act, I think it really does hit a lull in the middle because you have characters who are just kind of doing things and you don't really know why.
Yeah.
And I mean, you might know why, but it's just like
I think
I
it's
totally
hard to keep
disagree.
track of.
There's no mystery to me for anyone's behavior this entire movie. I was tracking the
I
entire
mean,
time.
I kind of
Like,
agree. It's just I just felt like the part where like, you know, she escapes from being part of like one of the mothers, and then she's like this mute, like secretly everyone thinks she's a boy or whatever, and she comes out and it's like, oh, now she's like openly like whatever. She's not hiding that she's a boy.
why does she grow her hair out? Like
I don't
feel
know.
like
because
That's
now
a-
she,
that's a
no,
good
because
question.
now she has the protection of the Praetorian.
no, but she didn't
Right,
have. But she
but-
had long hair before that. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
the reason he's able to discover she's a girl is because her hair comes out. Like, and it's like, wait, if you've been masquerading as a boy, why have you grown your hair so long?
Right, that's a weird
think
detail.
because she was
But I
hiding it
just-
under her
Like, I
little
just let
hat.
it go. You know, I was just like, whatever. Like, who cares?
I
But
just
it's
thought that
like-
the whole part where now she's like part of like the rig like crew, and then to the end,
There's
like,
like-
that,
there's
that
like
part
Mad-
could have been a lot shorter.
Yeah, because there's Diet Mad Max,
opinion.
right? Like she meets Diet Mad Max, or
Oh,
Furiosa,
yeah, the guy-
Furioso.
He's,
yeah.
he's the main guy who does the.
There's this whole
he
side
does
quest
the
going
runs.
on, right? That's just sort of like away from.
Oh,
what's going
by the
on.
way, I also thought it was very tasteful that like it's like they didn't go the romance route. Like, like
Yeah.
because like you would have
I didn't expect
in a different
that to
movie,
happen
like
at all.
the Praetorian would have been like they would have had like a love thing, they would have kissed, but it's just these two people that are put into a situation they don't want to be in and that they're horrified, and then they just see an oasis in each other and they're just like, I'm here for you.
Oh, like
I'm here for you.
Jack.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
really nice way
Oh, yeah.
to describe that.
That's true. I mean, yeah, I guess it would have. A lot of other movies would have been really easy to just shoot.
Yeah, so like I thought
and
for
they
I would have
didn't.
been really annoyed. There's a point where he's just like, "Come with me," and like they just put their heads together like this, and I
you're
thought it
like,
was
"Oh,
so
God."
beautiful. But if they had kissed, I would have been like, "Okay,
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah. I thought you were thinking like, oh fuck, are they gonna kiss? And they didn't. And then
And
you're
then
like,
they did
oh,
it. It's just like,
sweet.
oh yeah, it's just like, who else do we have in this disgusting world that we live in, where like we're seeing families ripped apart, we're seeing people die every day. Like, at least we have each other.
Dude,
Like, it
that-
doesn't have to be romantic. It's just a very human moment.
Feels way
I
better
love
than
it.
like
I'm
Paul
glad.
and like Shawnee just like on the dude like I love to be equal to you, and just like fuck.
Yo, my one complaint about this movie, they don't have sex once. Ain't no one getting no pussy in this movie. Like,
I
I
want to
was
know
just
that.
pissed. I was pissed off that there was no. I was just disappointed because it's like you have a gang of motorcycles and that's a cool take, but there's you don't see a gang of real motorcycles actually driving at any point. Right? There's like the scene where any scene that shows like the full gang is CG and it's like zoomed out and it's just like
yeah. And you know what it reminded me of?
that's not why I'm fucking here.
When you
man.
saw
I'm
them
like-
all going, when you saw them all moving, it reminded me of the scene in Lion King when the stampede is coming down, like the hill.
Yeah,
'Cause, like it's like it's very far away, and
Yeah.
it's like they're all just kind of like moving into, and you can tell it's like CGI.
It's
or
like,
whatever.
dude, I want to see like a fucking ground level view of just like there's this one scene in Fury Road. Unfortunately, again, here we go with the comparison, right? But the first scene when Immortan Joe and his crew set off to chase Furiosa, and like, you know, they have the drums going and that dude's fucking shooting he's shooting fire out of his fucking
Yeah.
guitar and shit. It's crazy to think about all of that, all those vehicles. That's all real.
Practical, yeah.
And you can tell.
Very impressive.
You can hear it and you can kind of feel it in the movements of the people who are on the fucking things. So when you try to do the same thing, but it's not real, it's just like, and now they're going over here.
yeah,
That's all this scene has to it now.
You know what
there's a
someone
lot of
told
them
me?
and they're going over there. Cool. I got it.
Yeah.
Someone told me that
It's not like, oh my God, how'd they fucking do that? Like, holy shit, now there's a guy who's on a pole and he's on this-
That's what takes a mundane thing that's interesting and makes it boring. But sorry, Nathan, go. What
No, I
were
was
you
gonna say, like, apparently, someone was telling me this, that there is a reason, like there's a whole backstory for the blind guy with the guitar that they flesh out in the comic books, and I was like, comic books are fucking bro. I'm not gonna fucking read. I'm not gonna read the fucking comic books.
just outed yourself
I don't
as a
care. Like, if it's not in the movie, I'm not gonna fucking read it.
I mean, don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, like, why don't you get the fuck away from me?
To keep it. All right. Can we
Fucking comic books.
Well, actually,
wait, what?
in the books.
Well, are we
Yeah,
done?
that'd be Christian. That'd
Okay,
be
so
actually in the
yeah,
comic
whatever.
book.
The movie is fine. Go watch it. You might like it.
Yeah,
you might
well,
not.
the one thing I liked the most about the movie, just to add to the wrap up, is I expected when the movie started, I thought about 10 minutes in, they're going to be like 10 years later. Right? I thought there was going to be like a big time skip and we are just seeing like her in the green place and then it was going to skip. And then the movie doesn't do that. And it's just like her whole life. And I really liked, once I realized that's how the movie's going to be like, I was like, oh, I like this. I like that that's how this, rather, because a lot of movies is very cheap. It's just like, we're not going to do this whole like different ages and like that's more effort. Just fuck it. Just skip to like when she's like captive by a Mortem Joe or whatever and then do all that. But they did the whole lead up and I kind of like that.
What was
pacing
Chris
of it.
Hemsworth's character's name?
Dementus.
And
They
then
say
there
it
were
like
the
50 times. In the
I
whole
thought
movie.
that character's completely
like Harry Potter?
ineffective, and as a result, it sort of
Dementors.
like handicaps Furiosa's like character arc to me at least, because I was like, this
Him?
guy's such a shitty villain.
He is, yeah.
He's so unconvincing. He has too many lines. He talk like you got to reel that guy in, bro. Like
That
I
is
feel
a-
like he is like you can't let him
He's too
talk
comic
too
booky.
much.
Yeah,
He's
they
too
let him
comic booky.
improv a lot when he was in that Ghostbusters movie.
And that was a thing.
He was
I
the
feel like
villain.
it all started because of the third Thor movie, Ragnarok, where he actually was pretty good. But then I think they just gave him too
Yep.
much. Like,
Yeah,
free
they
rein
gave him
after
too much
that.
freedom. He's like Taika Waititi.
So I
He
feel
was
like
like,
in
oh,
this-
you're funny, huh?
In this movie,
Yeah,
it's just
let's make
like-
it all funny. I'm Taika Waititi. By the way, that guy fucking sucks. I don't think that guy has never made a good movie except for What We Do in the Shadows.
You didn't like Jojo Rabbit?
No, Jojo Rabbit's fucking dumb.
I like
there's
I
like,
like
dude,
Jojo
there's
Rabbit.
there's
Yeah,
this
there's-
one promotional photo when that movie was coming out, and it's Taika Waititi flipping off Hitler. Like a portrait of Hitler, and it's like, oh, so edgy, you're anti-Hitler? Whoa, Taika Waititi.
Okay,
I
so
know,
that's
seriously,
super annoying,
that's
but
like,
but
that's like, that'll
the
like bust like lib nuts.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah. Hey, wait, I don't like Hitler either. Like that's what you're supposed to say when you see that. Like, shut up.
the movie in isolation is good, but that's super annoying.
I didn't
What
like
the
that
hell?
movie. I thought it was poorly written and childish, and I didn't like Taika Waititi's performance.
I thought it was cute.
I
thought
I
I
saw it on a
liked-
plane and I haven't. Really
I thought it was
about
cute too. I like seeing the perspective of a brainwashed child slowly realizes.
I'd rather watch that movie
Nazis are
again than
bad.
Furiosa.
You know what I like seeing. You know what I like seeing? Scarlett Johansson's big ass titties. Am I right? Come on, fellas.
Have any of you seen the latest like Michael Che Colin Jost joke swap? No.
No, recite the whole thing for us right now.
We don't like SNL typically.
But
We're not
that's
really
like
SNL
that is
guys.
actually like one of the funnier.
Well, I'm not an SNL.
Do Zoomers
of
watch
SNL.
SNL?
Who watches SNL?
Dude, I have no idea.
I don't
You
watch
probably watch
SNL,
on
but
YouTube,
sometimes
right?
it comes up in like
What's up?
reels.
Whatever
you know
you're
what I
talking
mean?
about is
Or,
probably on
like,
YouTube.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
shorts. I'm like teehee.
Teehee.
It's not even YouTube shorts though. I like Michael Che because Shame the Devil and his other special are pretty decent.
Are you talking about the skit where they like are news anchors and they have to say what each other wrote?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like Michael Che goes like hard.
Yeah,
He-
sometimes he's
Yeah,
he
he
makes
makes
crazy.
Colin Joe say some pretty fucked up
Oh,
things.
yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
great.
yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Well, I bring that up to say because one of the
Yeah.
jokes was like Michael Che made Colin Jost say like Scarlett Johansson, like what is she without that body? Right? It's like something like extremely like just fucking foul,
Yeah,
fucking
No,
great.
I mean that's pretty dude,
destroyed.
I watched it because my friends were excited because Shane Gillis was hosting, and I tried sitting there and watching it. I think that I maybe cracked a smile.
I
once.
really like Shane Gillis, and there was one skit of
that
that
fits.
SNL that I liked. So
That-
that just shows how like bad SNL is.
Shane Gillis sounds the same with every sentence he says. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he
that's
says
true.
every sentence the exact same.
Yeah.
Like how do you do that?
I don't know.
He's one of those like
kinda
unfortunate
scary.
comedians who's like I think he's funny, but like I don't know what to find of him that's funny because he's like so played out right now.
Yeah,
It was
he's just
like,
all over the
dude,
place.
What was that one? Oh,
Yeah, that's a good
dude,
point. Yeah.
What was that one guy who was like super popular for a bit?
Dane Cook.
No, Like very recent. He was like
He only
Zoomer
was
Jacob's
born
favorite
when
comedian.
Dan
Aziz
Cook-
Ansari.
Yeah, you
No,
better
no,
not
no,
speak
no.
on Dan
Aziz
Cook.
Ansari. Ansari.
younger dude.
Hey Aziz, oh my god, I'm Aziz Ansari. Oh my god,
You wanna
come to my
like,
place?
oh my God.
I'm accused of sexual conduct. No.
I gotta find this.
I was like, hey, I thought you just wanted to have sex. Oh my god.
I'm surprised he hasn't become like an incel icon yet. You know, I feel like
I
they would
know.
have
I
adopted
will.
him.
He disappeared. Like no one cares about him anymore. Poor guy. Except for, I mean, maybe he's just like super
I
popular.
mean,
care about
okay,
you,
I want
Aziz
to
Ansari.
defend Aziz Ansari.
Wherever
I
you
don't
are,
think he
Aziz
did anything
Ansari,
wrong.
I care about you.
No. I
basically went on a date.
read the Babe article. Yeah, he
He basically
literally
went
just
on a
went on
date,
a weird
and they
date.
had sex, and the girl was like, "That sex was bad. I don't like what happened." And then
Yeah.
she complained.
Matt
about it.
Rife.
Oh
Matt
my god,
Rife.
dude, kill yourself if you like Matt Rife.
Who the fuck is that?
Like he.
We're an anti-Matt Rife
Extreme,
podcast.
Jesus.
I don't even know who that is.
Sorry,
I
do
don't
you
know
like
who
Matt
that is
Rife,
either.
Christian?
I have no idea.
I
who that
think
is.
s- like
We don't
some-
know who that is.
Some of his work is actually like really good. Some of his
Okay.
earlier specials
Let
are
me-
good. His latest Netflix special is just like
Let me
way too Chappelle inspired.
summarize Matt Rife real quick. Matt Rife is a comedian that blew up on TikTok. So basically, he took a shortcut to like being a famous stand-up comedian, like headlining.
He didn't pay his dues out in the
He didn't
club.
pay his
scene.
dues,
Okay.
and basically all like anyone who does comedy to like to
He didn't
like
give a handy to the store manager.
the shittiest
Yeah.
stand up to like the top professionals, they all kind of don't like him because of that.
Oh boo hoo! Someone used a very popular medium to get
well,
popular.
well, and people are like, oh well, they really like his crowd work, but it's always with women, and he's like a really attractive guy. So
Okay, so it sounds like comedy is filled with a bunch of bitter fucking losers that are
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
pretty-
that
yeah,
are
that's
taking
like-
advantage.
When I try that, the girls get grossed out.
Yeah, because you're ugly, motherfucker.
no,
Cry
that's
about it.
extremely accurate.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing is, there are like so
Not in
many
the shower
like
in 3
comedians
days.
that people super respect, like Jesse Kirsten or like just so many people are Taylor Tomlinson or like people in the industry actually respect. And like Matt Rife came up and he's just like handsome. He can like rizz up a MILF. Do you guys know what Riz is? Is that too zoomer for
mean,
all
no,
of
I
you?
don't know what Riz is.
Okay, there you
Aside
go.
from
Put it
all-
together.
Aside from all the like bitterness of like, oh, he got blah 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 big so fast, like I just Matt Rife. If I met that guy in day to day activity, I would be like, I don't really want to hang out with you.
That's yeah.
Yeah, but
fair.
that's most
But
people.
that is
I don't want
also
to hang
like-
out with most people.
Yeah, why would I want to hang? Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I mean,
Get out of my way, loser.
no, I agree, but it's just like I
don't
don't
wanna hang
like-
out with you, bro.
I don't
That's why
like it.
I love, like,
Fuck you.
I love our friend group so much because it's like it's actually kind of rare that we add anyone as like a regular rotate. You're the latest one, I
Yeah.
feel, which is like congratulate. You're great.
Hey.
Gotta love. Yeah, I love Jacob.
Amazing.
And then I'd like to think I've contributed by adding Christian to the mix as
I,
well.
I paid my dues.
Yeah. Now we have an insight into both the Zoomer and the startup
Dude,
founder community.
I'm like the worst person to ask for Zoom. Like I have no idea what's going on.
Why?
Wait, are you guys? Are you guys called the Zoomers because you went to
I have a
college
job.
on Zoom?
Like I have a job.
no, they were calling Zoomers before they had to be on Zoom all the time for
That's
school.
so cool how that worked out though.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah.
They really zoomed to the Zoomer name.
I don't know how they fucking got Zoomers
no
because we
idea.
got millennials, which sounds.
Oh, are you
no,
sure it's
it was-
not?
it was
Oh, because Gen
boomers.
Z, because
Yeah.
they're Y.
Gen Z. Oh, yeah,
boomers.
Z.
Yeah,
They
we're-
call them
We're
Zoomers,
Y,
yeah.
but they gave us
Oh, so
millennial.
Zoomer
Yeah.
and Gen Z are the same. I'm stupid.
Millennials
Okay.
are makes sense because we
Wait,
came
what?
of age in the
I
millennium.
thought like I was like, why is there a
Yeah,
second
it's a
Z
play
group?
on boomer. It's a play on boomer.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh
like it too.
yeah. Oh,
What are we?
I didn't even catch
Can we
that.
be humors?
It's funny how quickly because it's like millennials stopped being the center of the world. And like I blinked my eye, and now everything's about Zoomers. But now I'm blinking it again, and now everyone's talking about like Gen Alpha. Like, what the fuck are they?
The iPad
also, who the
kids.
fuck came up with these naming conventions? Why did we start with Gen X?
We didn't.
It's like it started Gen X, and then Gen Y, and then now
Wait.
it's Gen Z, and
No,
now
that's
we
just-
have to go all the way back to Alpha.
That's just the
Doesn't
one
make
we
sense.
refer to. But if you keep going back, you could name. I mean, they're just going through the alphabet like hurricanes. Like, you know. they're
Wait,
just-
really?
They just go in order.
I thought they just named the Gen X because like of like a marketing play.
X,
It was
Y, Z, and now it's alpha. Next one.
I thought they just did it for like a customer segment.
Yeah, I don't know what the root. Oh, by the that's my least
Maybe it's just
personal.
a customer segment.
The boomers at least lived interesting lives. They accumulated wealth. They lived through some interesting times. I think Gen X is the worst generation.
I
Those
like to
guys
imagine
suck.
like really far in history. I like to imagine like really far in history.
Thanks
the
for
peop-
Nirvana, you fucking
Well,
losers.
Yeah, it's just because they grew up in the malaise of like suburban America's
Yeah,
peak.
they
more
came
or
of they
less,
came of
right?
age when we had won. Like the Cold War was over.
Yeah, there's no
like,
strife. There's no like.
Yeah, and then Gen X was like,
struggle.
"What are we gonna do?" So they
just did
started
heroin.
magazines. They were like
Yeah.
Yeah,
magazine
yeah, they started
writers.
zines.
I like to
and then
imagine-
all of that collapsed collapsed the second the internet came out, and now they're just like broke, bitter losers.
I like to imagine really far in history, like I like to imagine like people in like BC times having the same conversation. Where they're like, this generation doesn't know what it's like to not have aqueducts.
Yeah, this generation didn't know what it was like when we defeated the Assyrians, like when we finally
Those are
collapsed
really
the
rough
Bactrian
times.
Empire.
Oh, they want peace and love.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes Persia attacks you, okay, and we have to fight.
Yeah. Grow up, all right?
Didn't you see 300?
Yeah. That was actually a big problem. That's why
Throwback,
Sparta
baby.
eventually like
Here we
loses
go.
its
We're
position
back
of
to 300
dominance.
somehow.
This new generation.
No, Sparta eventually loses its dominance because like they win the Peloponnesian War, so they take control of the Greek peninsula. But Athenian culture runs rampant because everyone wants to be a chill Athenian and no one wants to be a hardcore Spartan. So eventually, like Athenian culture dominates every aspect of Greek
They only
life.
want to be casual Spartans.
Yeah, no one wants to be a real Spartan anymore. So
Man.
they lose all that edge, and then
This new
the
generation
Romans
just
conquer them.
doesn't understand that to fight in a battle, you have to be shirtless.
Yeah,
Dude,
sure.
but okay,
And you
honestly
gotta be
though,
jacked.
it is annoying though because I do think that you see people our fucking age like saying that shit.
Yeah,
like
it's like,
in
shut up.
earnest, you know, like,
You're 30.
oh, the hip hop music today is blah blah blah. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up,
Bro.
It's not
Yeah.
for you.
Music-
Yeah.
no.
You gotta let go. You gotta grow up gracefully. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck over it,
Music
loser.
in general, though, is in a great place, man. It's in a
I
fantastic
wouldn't
place.
know.
Yeah.
Dude, what just the target audience?
No, honestly-
wait, what? Wait,
Dude,
music's in a great place.
Dude, rap is in such a good
Gen
place
Z,
right now.
bro.
Oh my God.
No.
Wow.
I'm talking
that's for
okay.
you.
Zoom,
No, but
zoom.
why-
No,
wait,
no,
bro,
no.
let's hear
I'm
them out.
not
Like,
on Gen Z rap. I'm
why-
on
why
like
do-
Earl and like underground.
Earl
like,
sweatshirt.
Earl Sweat- that's like
That's
I-
millennial. That's he.
Yeah.
I was
He's
into
like,
Earl
wait, what
Sweatshirt
is-
right
let's
now.
go some more.
I like
Some
Pink
more.
Floyd.
Like,
Yeah,
Earl sweatshirt, like
thing.
Mike. There's like new rappers like Messiah is really good. Like No Face Soprano is pretty good. That's like a little more
I don't even
zoomery.
know who these people are. That's awesome.
yeah.
Let's see what
Well,
else.
there's
Love to check 'em out.
there was that generation of like SoundCloud rappers that came up. Like every
Yeah.
fucking Zoomer I know tells me I should listen to Blade
Hey,
or
wait,
like
no.
Echo. I'm like,
Dude, Blade, my friend gives me this lecture all the time about how Blade influenced Future's rap.
Yeah.
he was
I've
just
heard
like
that before,
he was
too.
just like this Swedish kid who couldn't speak English, and then Future's like, that sounds dope.
Yeah, that sounds
and now,
amazing.
And now Future can't speak
I know
English.
you're not
It's
talking
like
about the
fucking-
movie, but I like to imagine Future watched the movie Blade and he was like, I'm gonna rap about this.
I love Blade. Yeah, wouldn't it be cool?
Oh,
for
you thought
all
you used
leather
Blade with Wesley
vampires?
Snipes?
Yeah, he's
You
like,
know,
this
my
is pretty
favorite,
cool.
my favorite
always trying to ice skate uphill.
favorite fun fact about Blade, the series, the 2000 series with Wesley Snipes, was that in the third movie, I guess he just hated the director and the production of it. Like there was many decisions that were made that he just disagreed with.
Yeah.
I think they ousted the director, so he just didn't want to participate. And there's one scene where Blade is supposed to be laying on a table and he wakes up from like a slumber of some sort. I forget why, but like his eyes are supposed to open, right? And Wesley Snipes laid on the table, and no matter how many times they said action, refused to open his eyes.
You're just basically sleeping on the job.
Damn.
He was just so like dead set on sabotaging this movie
That's
that he just did.
amazing.
So in the actual movie, if you watch Blade Trinity and you get to this scene, they CG'd
Sick.
Wesley Snipes' eyes to open.
Dude, Wesley Snipes. Okay, okay.
I'm gonna overlay
Okay,
that
here's
scene on
my-
the
You just
video.
would not. You just wouldn't do it. He's
Here's
like,
my
no.
case
That's
for
awesome.
Wesley Snipes being the coolest person on the planet. One, he really knows karate. Two,
He commits tax fraud.
He commits tax fraud.
Tax is one of those. I'm not gonna pay those. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Three, you know, you only need those two.
No, I think the third one is like
Karate
he
and
honestly.
tax
Okay,
evasion.
3 is that honestly, like the world is better off because of characters that Wesley Snipes has portrayed. So like in New Jack City, he plays the main villain in New Jack City. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a 90s crime
sit
movie.
your $5 ass down
That
before I
movie,
make change.
Wesley Snipes is.
I've done a lot of black
fucking-
accents here. I'm sorry for our black viewers.
It's okay. 50% of the podcast today is black, so it's fine.
There you
Oh,
go.
hey. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, Christian's black for those of you who don't know.
You see, Jacob was ready
yeah.
on that defense right
know.
now.
He's
He's like, oh, don't worry. I have 2 black friends now.
Hold on.
It's like a shield against criticism.
As we've established, I see everyone through their creative characters. So I
Wait,
think you
hold
might.
on.
What?
Hold on. Someone's calling.
Oh, guest call on the pod. I'm surprised you rated it the
pretty good.
same as the Apes Together Strong movie, and I haven't seen that
Apes
movie.
Together.
Because I
I'm very
felt similarly
surprised.
about both of them. I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or whatever it was called.
What a long, stupid fucking title.
Yeah, but I get it. That's kind
They
of
all-
what their
that's their
is.
thing.
All their
And
movies are
it's-
stupid and long and weird, and
I-
it's a very weird series.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
it's very
I-
bizarre.
I guess
obviously.
I see what you
Talking
mean.
monkeys.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to go back.
Nathan,
So-
what, are you familiar with Planet of the Apes?
I've seen one of them and I really liked
Yeah, right.
Okay,
They're pretty
which-
engaging.
It's a different concept
Which
than
one
anything else.
did you see?
I forget. It was
The
one
one
of the
with the
newer
monkeys.
ones.
the one with the apes.
How many did the?
Presumably.
Yeah, probably there's probably apes in it.
So yeah. Anyway.
So
so
what-
I feel like I like those movies. I feel like with Planet of the Apes, either you're in or you're out. Typically, like
Yeah.
with
So
most
I-
people,
Polarizing.
you
But the
know,
thing is
either
I
it's your
was-
cup of tea or it's not.
But the thing is, I was really in until I watched the war one, and then I was like, oh, this is bad now.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, I thought so, and then I rewatched the second one, which I thought
Second one
like,
was really good.
yeah. Watch it again though. It's different. It's
Oh,
different. It's
okay.
not like bad but you realize. I think when I saw the second one, I was very engaged and into it.
too, yeah.
I watched the second one now. It's kind of just like I see what they're going for, and it's kind of goofy and
Yeah.
like you know.
Okay,
like, but this movie is kind of the same. I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes had all the same things that you like in those movies. The effects look great. The characters are cool. They had like the great like themes of like you know. I think they just have very good themes they're very strong thematically because they zoom out of humanity so much, right? It's a
Yeah.
very zoomed out perspective, just like otherness generally. And then like where humanity's place in evolution is, right? And like how we're gonna respond to when like the next more advanced thing comes along that might not be a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I
so
definitely
there's-
like that aspect of those movies.
Yeah, and like man's fear of that, of like evolution because of the implications, because of those implications that like if we keep progressing, there'll be something that's better like that we were subservient to. Close that door.
All right, so it was okay.
Oh,
so
yeah,
whatever.
oh, yeah.
So we're
So-
transitioning off movie talk.
So yeah, those
last-
movies are good, whatever.
Last week we talked about
Kingdom of the Planet of
AI.
the Apes is pretty good. It set up a lot of good ideas that it didn't execute on, similar to Furiosa.
Okay, so last week we talked about AI a bunch, right? That's the whole.
We talked a lot about AI last week.
It's a whole
yeah.
theme of the episode, and at one point, someone brought up, Mark brought up the Google now does like AI summaries at the top of their search results, and then that brought up a conversation about, or you brought up how Reddit has like a deal with Google, right? To basically, can you just summarize what that is again, really quick?
So Reddit and Google entered a deal where Google has exclusive rights to Reddit's user data as a means of training Google's AI.
Right.
And as a result, you have suddenly started to see a lot more Reddit results being automatically surfaced whenever you search on Google. So now you get an AI summary and then a bunch of Reddit posts.
Yeah.
And it also it was in line. It caused Reddit's traffic to increase 500% right before they IPO'd.
And what Reddit
Corporate
what-
circle jerk.
And what Google the Google exchange the exchange from Reddit to Google there is that Google can use Reddit's all of Reddit's information to train their AI, which aligns with the fact that Reddit made their API cost money last year as well. And so basically they gave Google like free rights to use the API. Anyone else can do it, but they have to pay for every single call and stuff. Anyways, so they're using Reddit to train their Google AI. Think about how many comments on Reddit. Well, first of all, do you think that an AI can detect sarcasm or a joke? No, right?
No.
To what extent do you even think you trust anything like Reddit's user base generally?
As if for very like specific subreddits and stuff, and if you can tell, I do trust it because there's like just crazy nerds out there who just get off at like. It's just a perfect place to find people that are super fixated on one topic, so they know a ton about it.
Yeah, in theory, right? But then you end up thinking about who are the people who are the most vocal and who get the
True.
most karma, who end up having the most like
True.
upvoted like
Yeah.
posts, and it's usually
Yeah.
ones that are the most polarized, that are the most extreme, that are the most sort of like
It has the
one-sided.
same issues of every other
Not
social
on
media platform.
Reddit.
Not
on
all the time.
Reddit.
Sometimes they have nuance, right? But like still, it's just like some
And they do
things-
have some like pretty robust moderation because again, that's like a thing that nerds love is like using any sort of like tiny minute power that was given to them on the internet. But anyways, I bring all that up to say this. So that AI thing has been out for about a week now, and in that time, people have done a lot of searches and seen some results from the Google AI that were kind of interesting. Like for instance, someone was curious, like I guess they're trying to make their own pizza, right? And they're like, why is it when I make pizza, the cheese is like going all over the place? You know, I order Domino's or Pizza Hut, it seems to like stay in one spot. How do I get it to like stick more to the pizza? And Google AI
That's
said,
a question someone asked. Someone was like,
computer?
why doesn't the pizza
to
stick?
Google,
Why doesn't the
to
cheese stick on the
Google.
pizza?
That was my first question too when I heard that.
How do I make
I thought that was the
was falling
main
off.
punchline.
That's such a long query. Like every time I go to Domino's, the pizza's good. The pizza people
Okay,
make
but
the
that's-
pizza good, and it
that's
sticks on the pizza well. How do
Yeah, wait, what? He asked that to Google?
Okay, the general question is they're just trying to like
Okay.
figure out how to make their pizza cheese like more like the pizza shops they buy it from, right?
Cellulose.
That's not the point of
Lots
this.
and
The
lots
point of
of-
this is what Google AI said that they should
Okay.
do. They suggested some ingredients and stuff, but then
Cellulose.
at the end they said, but something that you can also try if you're still struggling is you can put a little bit of non-toxic glue in the cheese. And that will help the cheese stay in place. And people were like, well, that's an interesting thing for Google AI to tell me to do. So then people searched and found the source of it, which is a Reddit comment, a trolling Reddit comment from someone asking that question on Reddit. And Google AI can't detect sarcasm, so they present that as fact. And this has also happened with a bunch of The Onion articles.
Oh,
Yeah, that's because
amazing.
robots are stupid, bro.
it's like large.
They don't have that level of, they can't reason.
So
That's the thing. They don't have, they'll never be able to reason and be like, wait a minute. And just be like, wait, hold on.
So
Is this right or not?
So
They're just like, boom. It's
I
just
have two more pretty funny examples. One
whatever
was
a robot thinks is the answer is what it's going to tell you.
one was someone asked Google what color highlighters does the CIA use, and the Google AI without any joke or sarcasm said that the CIA uses black highlighters, which is from an Onion article.
It's accurate. So, I mean,
Do you get the joke?
it's true.
Yeah. And then the other one is
funny.
you asked, has a dog ever played in the NBA? And it says actually yes, a dog has played in the NBA, and that's based on the movie Air Bud.
There you go.
Nathan, have you seen the movie Air Bud?
Yes.
Do you know the
movie.
premise?
Yes. Golden Retriever.
A golden retriever plays professional sports of all different
I like the one where there's one where he plays football and it's called Air Bud Golden Receiver.
I love the sequel to those movies.
That's like the whole
I'm
reason.
gonna look up more of those.
That's the whole reason they made that
What a
movie. Was
stupid-
just to make that pun.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at 90s culture, you're like, we must have had it really good.
Silly
We must have had it
time.
really good as a country. Or at least like the facade was like a bad thing.
Dude, not only did they make that
So
movie,
true.
but it was successful enough for them to make
Unless
like
you're
6
black.
of them.
I'm trying to think of like my best like Nathan impersonation for like why Airbuds would be good. Like, okay, you gotta understand. Okay, like I can't even. I haven't seen that movie in so long. What would make Airbuds like actually a decent movie?
I love that you just said I can't even.
I can't. I
What
can't
would make
even.
Airbuds a good movie?
Yeah.
Okay, guess.
don't
Okay,
know.
let's play a game. Guess the name of the Air Bud movie that's about soccer.
Okay, yeah, do this with every sport.
Or football.
For soccer, Airbud, Golden Ball or some shit.
What do you think, Nathan?
I'm
Golden Goal. Or that's a hockey
think.
thing.
That'd be a good one. That's your guess, golden goal. Nathan, what's your guess?
Oh, you could say golden retriever and then just spell it like a goal.
Oh,
Airbud Golden Retriever.
Yeah.
That's good.
Unfortunately, there's no retriever position in soccer.
I think the title should just be Airbud. Go!
Christian, what's your guess?
Like golden goalie? I have no idea, bro.
World Pup.
That's awesome. All right, do another sport.
Okay.
I like this game.
How many Airbuds are there?
Like six.
There's
how
like
many,
a zillion
How many
billion.
sports in the world are there? There's probably
okay.
Formula One.
All right, here we go. Baseball. What is the name of the Air Bud baseball?
Airbud
movie?
fetch?
Airbud.
Airbud a day in the park? Like,
Hon. Airbud.
Fetch.
A day in the park is good. Nathan, do you have a guess? I'm also thinking Airbud, something with a home run. So Airbud,
Bone run.
Bone Run.
That was not a bad guess.
That's great.
That's not a bad guess. Good job, Nathan.
Airbud.
Nathan brought the heat today.
Airbud, go for a run. No. I'm gonna go with Bone Run.
Okay. Christian was pretty close. Airbud seventh inning fetch.
Seventh inning fetch. They're all puns. What about basketball or
All right, here we go. You'll never guess volleyball.
Volleyball?
But here's volleyball. Guesses Nathan.
Airbud.
Pup set spike.
Damn, you should have been like a copywriter or
great.
something.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
Wait, what was it again?
What?
Would you say that again?
Pup set spike.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good.
I'm not even gonna say
This
anything.
is our
I don't
Mad
have
Men
anything better
office.
than that. Pup set spike. Damn.
That's amazing.
What is it? That's like a dog.
Oh, okay. Air Bud spikes back.
I love the double play on Star Wars. What is he spiking back against? Was a previous movie like someone like beat Airbud?
Oh man, and then that's all of them. That's all.
No,
of
wait.
them.
There's got to be a basketball one.
No, it's just called Air Bud. That's the only one.
Oh, it's the first.
That
Oh, it's the
was
first
the
Airbud?
original.
Oh wait,
That's
isn't
the
there like a?
OG.
There's not a. I'm surprised there's not like a.
There's not like a.
Oh wait, but
Wait,
there's a.
There's not like a cricket
Hold on.
Airbud.
In Airbud, don't they go into like a spaceship in Airbud? I'm not even joking. Isn't there like a scene where they like go into a spaceship?
I've never
That's
seen.
how wild that
I don't know if
movie
I've
Wait,
is.
hold on. Let me see.
Airbud.
Let me see. What?
You gotta get
Are
like
you
a
sure?
Jamie to put.
Are you
What,
sure?
what would be the space movie
have
called?
no
of
idea.
Airbud?
Space
it's like-
Buddies. It's called Space Buddies, and it's real.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because there's like a sub series of Airbud movies called Air Buddies, and then they give them like
different
Kristen
odd
was right.
jobs.
yeah. So Air Buddies is like a thing, and they have Space Buddies, they have like Snow Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies, Super Buddies.
Well, they clearly got a little bit lazy with the naming.
And then they have a Santa Claus specific offshoot of Airbud called Santa Paws. The search for Santa Paws 2, the Santa Pups.
Man.
Electric Boogaloo.
Man, they are fucking beating the shit out of that dead horse. God damn.
How many separate dogs? How many times do you think they had to like replace the actor?
The dog.
Why you gotta take it there, bro?
Sorry.
Okay. Remember? Okay, I could have swore that Airbud skateboarded at one point.
Yeah.
But it's
I remember
not.
that
It
too.
is-
There's real dogs that can do
But
that.
it's another
so that would make
animal.
the most sense.
There was a movie series about an animal that could skateboard.
Yeah.
What do you guys think it is? What do you guys think it was?
Skateboarding dog.
Oh, wait. Was it not a pig?
A day in the park. Skate.
Wait, is he asking us to guess?
Yeah. We got some movie titles.
For Airbud?
Okay. It's called
It's not
MV.
Airbud, though.
It's a chimpanzee,
Oh, shit. Oh.
and it's called MVP, most vertical primate.
Jeez.
There's no concept of an MVP. There's no concept of an MVP in skateboarding.
Wait for.
Why would they use that as the title? There's not like a league and they award you the most valuable skater or
For
something.
the audio listeners, it's just like a chimpanzee in a green hoodie, tongue out.
Dark wash jeans.
Wait, is that a two at the end? So there's two
Yeah,
of
this is the
these?
second one, I
Is
guess.
there two of these?
I'm trying to find the first one, but it's hard.
I
Very
think
very 90s poster. It looks like that guy should have like Oakleys on or something.
that's how I brag about my height. I go, I'm the most vertical primate.
Boo.
You had another joke of mine that falls flat on the podcast.
You suck.
You stink. I'm gonna be at Cobb's Comedy Club, 6th floor.
Please come.
Okay. So the first MVP, there is a first MVP. So MVP 1 is also with a chimpanzee. I guess this was a thing back then. I don't know what's up with animals.
Wait, is it a
and
different
sports.
sport?
It's a different sport.
Gymnastics.
That's your guess?
Oh.
Christian, like pole vault.
Nathan?
Lacrosse.
Oh, wait, on snowboarding.
Hockey. And it was most valuable primate. So they changed the name, but they still called it a 2, even though it's not really 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say MVP makes sense for a team sport where they award you an MVP, but like,
And this, I like this.
show Nathan.
Just a chimp.
That's
A chimp in hockey gear.
That reminds me of the South Park episode where a bunch of preschoolers like play in an NHL game and they all just get the shit beat out of them.
Oh, yeah. Stanley's Cup. That's the name of the episode.
Yeah, it's like a parody of one of those movies where it's like, oh guys, we're all gonna get together and like win the game, and they play a professional NHL team and they just like get, you know, their teeth knocked out and shit. They're all like 4 years old.
I love child abuse. You guys,
Wait. So how does Christian know Nathan?
I met.
How does he know you?
Yeah, how did you guys meet?
How do we meet?
How'd you meet Christian?
Hell no, bro.
Where did you meet me?
How did we meet? Tell them.
Yeah. Tell us how you guys met.
How did you and Nathan meet? Christian?
Oh, actually, or like
Tell us the
Actually-
meet. Well, what's the meet
Okay.
cute?
Yeah.
the meet cute.
Yeah. What year was it?
What were you? Did you like overhear
remember?
him in the break room talking about some obscure movie, and you're like,
No, that was pretty similar. I mean, like I worked at a company. I'm not going to say what. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. I worked at a company, and he was a sales guy. I was an engineer at the company, and I was talking about stand-up comedy to our ops person. Not our op, but like our operations person.
What's
And-
"What's an op?"
Oh man,
No, I know what an
op.
ops person is, but what's an op?
No,
like an op,
Jacob.
like a rival gang member,
Like your opposition.
like your opposition,
Yeah, 'cause
like a
I've always
person you
heard
know,
this word.
like for you, an op would be Matt Rife. Matt Rife is your op.
These sound like some urban terms I'm not aware of.
This one said urban. Dude, one time,
I'm trying to learn.
You
Wait,
can't
wait.
say that with a Husker shirt on, man.
I'm trying to learn the urban terms.
One time in grad school, I went to business school for grad school, and we were in a class on Zoom because it was like during COVID, and I had a black professor, right? And it was a class about design thinking or some shit. And he starts talking, he's like blah blah blah, and he says urban market. And me being just like a dick, I like came off mute and I was like, Professor, could you tell the class what urban market means? And then he's like, without skipping a beat, he's just like, I'm talking about black people.
That's amazing. Sounds like a
I
fun
knew it.
professor.
I was like,
That sounds like it's straight from Boondocks.
it was odd because I was like, I knew he was gonna do that, and I knew that he knew that I knew.
That's it. I'm talking about black.
I'm talking about black people.
Oh, but anyway, so you're talking to not the gang member or your rival gang member, but the operational
no,
man.
our operation person, our VP of
No
operations.
gang members at your company, I assume.
No,
There are mine
I-
shit.
Oh.
Me.
Yeah, I was just talking about stand-up comedy, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I do open mics. Do you like want to go to an open mic?" And I was like new to the city, and so we just like went to an open mic.
Nice.
And then we became friends.
Nice.
It's pretty sick.
Jacob and I met in similar circumstance, basically.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Well, sort of. I mean, at work.
we worked together. We also worked together, and it was like different sides of the house, more or less.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, he joined while it was COVID, so I kind of knew you through a computer screen for a little bit, and I was just like, I don't know who this guy is. He seems all right.
He seems all right.
All right, but then we had all to get together in New York, and then I was like, this dude's sick. we had karaoke, and he was the only one like at my level, basically, of like enjoyment and like just having a good time. Everyone else was like too fucking reserved or like too embarrassed to like do shit. And then we did like
That's no
we
fun.
sung NSYNC, went like back to back. It was
we
pretty,
were standing
pretty cute.
back to back singing and
Yeah.
singing.
That's
First
a
time.
really
yeah.
cute.
Like,
And then
I
we went to
Want It That
Taco
Way.
Bell,
We went to Taco Bell
In New York. In New
Yeah.
York.
and we held hands on the way there.
Yeah,
too.
sounds like
we held hands and we kissed, and then we
Yeah,
had sex
right.
that
He
night.
wishes-
all right. Jacob.
Yeah, it was really cute.
No, but it was pretty sick though, honestly. That shit was
Yeah,
hella
it's cool.
fun.
Hell
And then this
yeah.
guy, and then he moved to San Francisco and started going to the office, and then we
Yeah,
just
and
started
then it
hanging
just
out in the office.
and the first I remember the first kind of hung out in the office, and then the finals were going on. You're like, you want to watch a game of the finals at my place? And that was the first time I hung out with you outside of like a work setting.
Oh yeah.
And it just bloomed from there.
And the rest is history.
The rest
We've-
is history.
we've been watching
and then the
NBA
Warriors
games
won.
together
The
ever
Warriors won the
since.
championship. We
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the parade. I
We
met
went
your
to the
sister.
parade, yeah.
I saw a guy fall through. He was sitting on like the glass covering of like a newsstand, and at some point it just broke and it fell through.
No.
Dude, that parade was crazy. The
Oh,
Warriors
sick.
parade. There was a point where there was a guy who was in the parade, right? So he's walking and he goes up to the crowd. It's just some random dude, more or less, right? And the crowd is
Yeah.
like, just excited because
It's like one of their
kinda,
homies.
Like a lot of people at parades, like you're just excited because.
Yeah.
Like there's no music.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, woohoo.
There's occasional music, but it travels. So
Yeah.
then it's just kind of like sometimes you're just like,
Yeah.
and this guy goes up to like a crowd doing that, and he's chugging a beer, and people just need something to cheer about, so they're just like, "Wah!"
I have a
And then he's clearly not finished with the beer.
Oh, yeah.
and he takes it and he tosses his half full beer into the crowd, into the unsuspecting crowd.
Oh no.
They're like, woo, and they're like, oh.
You can hear all the cheers just like up. And so abruptly.
Like, stop. You're like, what the
They
fuck?
ended so abruptly. It's just like
Yeah. That was cool
That's
though. I have a
hilarious.
video of Draymond Green coming up to us, very drunk, holding onto like a handle of like some whiskey and shit.
Dude, you're
And,
lucky you made it out alive.
Countering
a drug.
Oh, Draymond Green. Oh, Jesus.
You see, he got Rudy Gobert in a headlock.
So Draymond Green, Nathan, I know Nathan doesn't like watch too many sports. No, Draymond Green plays for the Warriors, and like his whole thing is that
He's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy, and he'll like, you know,
He's a
like
rough
last
guy.
year
He's very
he'll like
physical.
do violent things and like act like
That's such a funny way to describe it.
he'll do violent things on the
do
court.
violent things.
He'll do violent things on the court, like beyond like the reasonable amount for basketball. But he always acts like it's like part of him just playing. Like this year he punched a man in the face, but he did it by just like, oh, I accidentally spun and my hand like whacked you in the face.
Yeah.
It was an accident. And then later, I think his most obscure example is that he just put a man in a chokehold. You can't really say that's an accident. And then
Most
years
recently, he
back-
had somebody like literally like in a fucking headlock,
Yeah.
like pulling, like yanking
Wait,
on his
yeah.
neck. Like
It's
during a
insane.
bit.
He
Wait,
got,
he
like,
didn't get
sus-
away with it, right?
And then after he
No,
did
He
that,
Yeah,
well, he
kinda.
mostly gets away with it, but after the headlock, they sent him away to a therapy for about 20
Okay, so he
But the
did.
thing, the thing
And,
is, like,
he
if it
came
was
back a
like,
new man.
if it was most other
Not really, no,
players,
he didn't.
like,
He's the same
they
person.
would have been like suspended for the whole season.
Yeah.
like immediately.
or just like kicked out or whatever. And then
Okay.
like this started a long time. Like in 2016, when it all started, was he kicked a man just square in the nuts, and
Oh, yeah.
it's a
Steven
hilarious
Adams.
picture because the guy he basically looks like the actor who plays Aquaman, but he plays
Jason
in the NBA.
Momoa?
Yes,
Correct.
and he has like the tribal tattoos and stuff. In the picture, it's like a still frame of this guy's leg hitting his nuts, and he's just standing there like.
looking like Satan.
like he's just completely stoic.
Look at-
But yeah. And anyways, he claimed after the fact that was part of his natural shooting motion was to kick a guy in the net. Like his kick was he's like that's just part of my
I shoot
shooting
like
motion.
a fucking cheerleader.
And yeah, so anyways, that's who Draymond Green is.
Can't cans when he shoots, bro.
And so when he
Don't
came
you
up
know
to
that?
us really drunk during the parade, there was a slight chance he might have assaulted one.
Yeah, no, seriously. It's
I was
like,
a little afraid for my safety.
Anyways, what else?
dude,
Dude, there's,
that man's highlight reel is crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about how we all met. That's
did
cool.
any of you
cute.
go through the Apple list of the top 100?
Oh, I saw
albums
that.
of all time.
Is this new?
No T-Bap.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
No T-Bap. That's insane. No to Pimp a Butterfly.
So
Okay,
it's
so first of all, how is this ranked? Who ranks it? What's going on here?
just a bunch of white people, you know, the usual. Just,
So it's not based on,
it
like-
was Ebro, right?
It's not ba-
From
I think it was like, you know, it's like usually like a consortium of people.
It's the
I would
official
say.
Apple
Yeah.
one though, or something. Why
It's
is
like
it
a group
Apple?
of people, you know. They get like musicians and producers and journalists and.
And is this
whoever.
is this like a play? Is this like a thing on like Apple Music app that you can like?
You can just
do?
like go to a website, right? And you can just scroll through it. Yeah.
But I mean, did they make it for like Apple Music basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that their point? Okay,
like,
so
it's like
so
Spotify.
What do you mean?
Rewind
Did they
type
make it
thing.
for
like why is it Apple branded? Is it so that you can be like check out these albums and it's like the top 100 albums?
Yeah,
It's
Like-
just a thing to draw attention to Apple Music.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a marketing.
and it's
ploy,
committee based,
essentially.
not like popularity. It wasn't like a vote or some
No,
shit.
it's
No,
definitely
no, it's
committee
committee.
based.
It's
Yeah, if
committee.
you get
Alright, so-
popularity, you end up with stupid ass shit. I mean, this list has some stupid ass
Absolutely. Dude,
decisions.
yeah.
Have you seen
Wait,
the
like
like
what?
rate
It would
your
be top.
music?
It would be
because
Taylor
because the
Swift.
thing is, like, for something to have good taste, it would inherently need to be beyond what like the standard
Yeah.
deviation of taste
The-
is,
the
right?
bo- the most common
There's going to be
denominator is
less
not the
people who are
best.
even like
Yeah.
aware of it necessarily, who even like it. Not to sound like a fucking pretentious like douche,
Yeah.
but like it's just true. Like,
Okay, but I'm curious. You guys
interesting.
know about the list, so I'm curious about your takes of like what should be on it, what isn't on it, what.
What are you talking about?
there's
Apple Music released like a top 100 best albums list
Of all time?
correct.
of what? Yeah, for them of all time.
What?
Yeah,
yeah, of like
It's really interesting that they did.
you can look it
it's
up.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good way to
you can
piss
turn
some
it into
people
list
off.
form.
It's like it's definitely like with any music review stuff, because I watch so much Fantano. Like I always just put the asterisk of like, oh, it's just like their opinion.
Yeah,
Because like
it
I did
is.
like Flower Boy's
Yeah.
on here instead of like Igor or Call Me If You Get Lost, and like that's a very like that's a very like deliberate decision to
What?
be.
Really?
Well, because
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
you just
yeah.
want to like appeal to like the mainstream, right?
That's
So-
not
like
a that's
that.
not a mainstream one though.
Yes, it is.
But
If-
why-
Flower Boy
No,
over,
I think
over Igor.
if there's going to be like a mainstream like Tyler the Creator album, it's going to be Flower Boy.
Flower Boy
So
is.
they're going to
Why?
put Flower Boy.
I
on it.
agree with you.
That's
Flower
yeah,
Boy
that's
is.
so
guess
much
so.
more well known. Like Igor is the
Why-
more like
huh?
obscure pick there.
I don't know why though.
and that's why Fantano likes it so much.
Flower
'Cause,
Boy
it's
is like
it's
the
like more
fir-
ambitious is considered, right?
Flower Boy
Yeah.
is Tyler Creator's like first like artsy like album.
That's the one that you see on fucking tote bags and shit,
Yeah.
and like on T-shirts and stuff. Like that's the one that like more normies are like into.
I mean, that has
so
like,
that's why you pick it.
I
right?
like
because
Igor,
like,
but it's not.
because it's an editorial decision to make though. You want to do like you don't want to like put the one that's going to confuse people and be like, what the fuck.
But I, th-
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
but I think the fact that you don't.
That's
agree
why
with
Good
that,
Kid, Mad City's on it instead of To Pimp a Butterfly, right? Because like,
way more.
there's
like,
way more like hits on
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City, but like obviously To Pimp a Butterfly is a
love
better
that
album. I feel like Kendrick Lamar
Pull
himself
up,
would tell you that.
drank,
Great
headshot.
album.
But it's like, you know, at the same, it's kind of what you're saying. It's like they're making a list to get like engagement and clicks. And
Nathan,
they don't want to
I
lose
just sent you the
people.
link.
Yeah,
Nathan,
pretty-
if you wanna
pretty
look
much,
at the
like-
top 100.
Oh, thank you.
I think if they have the decision to make like a more nuanced or obscure pick versus something more mainstream, they'll take the mainstream option.
Well, Astroworld is
things-
98
all
all
things else-
time.
all else can be
I
equal.
like Travis Scott, and I don't think Astroworld should be in the top 100 albums of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty-
insane.
That's the thing though, but
pretty
like,
high.
but like that album got. I think like what did he
Also-
say? Like that's the album that got Tanner into that. They got the Tanners of the world into Travis Scott.
Okay, I do like Pure Heroin
It's
by
so
Lord
true,
being
though.
in
I've
here.
not heard it. The number one album, we can spoil it, right?
Well, hold on,
Yeah,
let me go to it. Hold on.
Okay.
What is it?
Spoilers.
If I could just say it.
Well, it's an
whatever.
album that I've not heard, but it's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Which is
That's number one.
amazing. It's an amazing
Really?
album.
Oh, I can't wait to listen
like
to it now.
the
Dude,
I
that's
can
incredible.
kind of believe that because
I
like
can, yeah.
okay, here's all I know about Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill is like notorious for being like a terrible person for shows. Like she will just like show up late to shows, just not. She's like the Playboy Cardi. Oh, like she just like does not. It's actually the other way
Sound
around.
of a
like-
good musician for some reason.
Yeah, her behavior
She's just like-
at a certain point has like started to communicate a certain resentment for her fan base, or at least a dismissal of it.
yeah, she
Right.
she
and
does
I think
not care.
it's tough to love Lauryn Hill is like the phrase. Like it's tough loving Lauryn Hill.
Number
but,
one album, though.
but
Number one.
that album though is legitimately. I think that when it comes to like the best album or the best artist or whatever, like there ends up being a strata that if you pick the top, if you rearrange like the top 40 or something in a certain way, like most people wouldn't be upset with you, right? Because that's a pick to me that makes sense. Like, okay, that's like you would like somebody,
well,
enough people would
and-
think that. I can say that.
And some of these
or Purple
picks-
Rain, or Abbey Road, or like
Purple
fucking
Rain wasn't on here though, no?
No, it is. It's
Purple
number
Rain is
4,
four.
bro.
Oh, is it?
And some of these are more recent. It's
Someone
like,
could be trying to be
yeah,
like a
yeah,
hipster
yeah,
and
it
like
is,
put
yeah.
Blonde by
rumors
Frank
there.
Ocean is number 5, and I love
Yeah,
that. But to be number,
I don't know,
but to be
man.
number 5, I feel like that's a thing where it's like I feel like we don't know right now. In 20 years, maybe reassess and maybe, but like when something's so recent, it feels like how can it be number 5? all the time?
Blonde wasn't even that recent though.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
been a
mean within
while
the
now.
last
It's been
10
like
years.
10
I just mean
years,
within the
right?
last 10 years.
I think
it's way more recent than Thriller. Is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of normies like Blonde, and that's why
I like
it's
Bl-
true.
I
I mean,
like
it's
Blonde.
it's a big normie album for sure.
Yeah.
So I
it's
think
like
a lot of people,
it's like a normie like emotional music album. It's like oh, this is emotional and
because
this is
I think people who like you could say like have quote good taste and normies like Blonde. So it appealed to the mainstream. So it was like very popular, and it's also pretty good. I don't know about top 5 good, but like given the reach
Yeah.
and sort of the critical esteem, like acclaim that it has, I think it like
Yeah.
if you were to quantify that somehow, it would result in it being pretty high. On the
how do you
list.
guys feel about Nevermind being number 9?
I mean, that album changed the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like you just,
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things where like people now, and I used to have this take when I was younger. So like, I understand where I thought like Nirvana was overrated and like that, whatever, like, oh, like they're not that good. Like their songs are simple. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Like he's not that good at playing guitar. But then you like zoom out for a bit and you realize like that's not what it was about.
Yeah.
It's like what it was a rejection of. Right. And like that simplicity and that straightforward nature of like music had been so obscured from rock and roll for such a long time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Damn, that scared the hell out of me.
Anyways,
So yeah, I think I think
I
that
like
album
I
should
like
be there. Yeah.
I like Rumors by Fleetwood Mac being number 11. That's cool.
It's a good album, man.
Yeah. Lemonade by Beyonce number 10.
What? Sorry.
That's wild.
It's a really good album.
But yeah, but again, like it's so recent. I feel like it's very hard to like. I feel like it should be. I feel like with these rankings, you should just exclude the most previous 20 years because
What?
it's
Yeah,
just
but
too
that's
just
like-
too recent. I don't know because the other ones you have
Again, editorial decisions. Who's gonna read that?
I guess that's true. True.
that's- yeah.
The thing is, like most people, I've realized this, dude, is that most, like not most people, but like yeah, probably most by like 51% at least. Like people
Highways.
don't listen to old music.
Yeah.
And they don't care for it.
True.
No, you
But-
know,
but you
they're not
get
even
why I
aware
say
of
that,
its
right?
like importance, or like they don't even have like the perspective to contextualize
Right.
anything like that, so they don't care for it really, and that's fine. but like
I feel
that's a
like
lot
I
of people.
started off my music listening like journey by listening to old music. I thought that's what everyone does.
Because you're an interesting person,
Oh, thanks.
unlike most normals. That's why I'm friends with you, Nathan. I mean, you're a cool dude.
Yeah, that's why we have you on this
Hey.
show, Nathan. We appreciate you.
But you get why but do you understand what I'm trying to say about that? It's hard to like eliminate recency bias, and like these other albums have like a bunch of context around them, and like you can see how they influence culture over time.
Yeah, and I think there's some that did and there's some that didn't, right? And that
Right.
so I feel like Lady Gaga's Fame Monster, I feel like that was ranked too low by being, it was like in the 80s or something. And I think that is an album that really did have a noticeable, tangible impact culturally in terms of like there being a pop artist who was ever
Definitely.
like that.
But
like
there-
that, like
yeah.
aligned with like the avant-garde and shit.
Yeah.
There
So
are
like I think I love Lady Gaga like as an artist.
Yeah, there are
so.
some recent ones like Lady Gaga, like where you can be like, yeah, for sure, this is gonna stand the test of time, like 21 by Adele. Like that's obviously like
Yeah, but you understand why that one's there. Like, there's probably
Maybe
I don't know
not
if it's that
15,
high, but
but
again, it's like
should
it was
absolutely
very
be in it.
popular in the mainstream.
man.
Hello from the other side.
Any of these you guys, I really like that Highway 61 is on here.
What?
I like Highway 61 by Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I mean everyone loves that. That was ranked the best album of all time. Or it's like
1989 by Taylor Swift. I love that album. I don't know if it should be number 18 all time. My God.
But it's Taylor's version.
That's like the worst
Taylor's
one.
version.
No, it's Taylor's royalties is what it is.
It's true.
That's what she should have named it.
She re-recorded all their own
Guys,
music.
she circumvented the system and now she makes more money.
She
Who cares? Why
re-recorded
do you
all of her
care?
songs and she's changing.
You know
the
what I
music
do? You know what, when I go on Spotify, when I listen to that album on
Spotify.
Spotify, I purposely go to the one that's not her version because
love
she has
Scooter
enough
Braun.
money. All right, I'm gonna give the money to her fucking overlords.
You know what's funny is that like her advocacy for like musicians to get paid more and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a good talking point, but I think personally that like if you just investigate it further, like the reality is that people who don't make money on Spotify, no matter how the royalties are distributed, they
Doesn't
won't
matter.
make money.
Yeah, yeah.
It really benefits. It only benefits the people who make a lot of money.
Right.
Like those margins only really benefit the ones who already
Oh, I didn't know
make a
that.
lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you just think about like the multipliers, right? It's like you get X% of like whatever, like your
Right.
transactions, and if you
I
just
just
have
didn't know
way
how
more of the
Spotify
stream,
It's like
Spotify is like 0.00 something.
I mean,
per stream.
wow.
Like it's
so like
That's
you're,
crazy.
Very low.
so like
Crazy
they
small.
only like care about that advocacy because of like it like changes their payout by magnitudes more than like someone who's actually, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but they're able to get like all the clout for being like they're advocating for artists. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, no, they're advocating for Taylor Swift.
dude, I cannot wait for like Taylor Swift in like 15-20 years to sell the rights to all the Taylor versions albums to like Sony and just make like $1 billion
And then she
just
records
selling the
Taylor's
rights
version
back,
too?
just selling the
Does it-
rights back, just like just something like incredibly ironic where she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm done. I just
Oh my
want
gosh,
more
that's
money.
totally
She
gonna
just like
happen.
sells it
Don't
back.
even joke.
Just
Sorry.
I know.
Oh yeah, baby.
Shane, I know that you definitely like talking about like which Kanye albums are best. How do you feel about My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy being the first Kanye album and on the list and at number 26?
Okay, I think number one, I think Kanye West should have had more albums on the list. I think number B, I think that I personally, my favorite Kanye West album is The College Dropout, and that's just
Good
like
album.
That's like my first love, and I think that I think there's a clear distinction between Kanye West fans who are even aware of that part of his discography versus the ones who came in around graduation, because that's when they were probably growing up. Or Yeezus. I think some people jumped on around
I know
at that
Graduation
time.
more than
But like,
Dropout.
I feel like, yeah. So I feel like the people who like were that old, I guess, to listen to College Dropout would probably feel similarly, because I think that's like the version of Kanye West that people fell in love with. That was
Yeah,
genuine and approachable and
exactly.
vulnerable.
Yes,
And
I miss that Kanye.
And had a really good taste for sampling and like production and stuff, which he always had throughout his career. But it had everything else. There's like the heart of it that was
Yes.
there.
all of Kanye's Jill Scott Heron samples. Jill Scott Heron is like one of my favorite like older artists. Like I listen to Bridges like every Sunday. I'll go for a walk and listen to Hello Sunday, Hello Road. It's like one of my favorite
Who's
things
that?
to do.
Who's Joe Scott Heron?
Jill Scott Heron is a like poet, like artist from like 80s time. Like very he's actually like kind of the person who invented hip hop. There's this album called There's a song called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," which is like him over like a sort of like soul funk beat.
Oh, yeah.
and he's doing
Whoa.
poetry, but it's like very fast, and that's like the first like rap song.
What? That's
Yeah,
wild.
it's pretty wild. He's like an amazing artist.
Wow. Send me that later. That's cool.
Yeah. And it's like there's
Number
Flashing Lights is a Jill Scott Heron sample from I'm New Here. My Way Home is a sample of My Way Home by Jill Scott Heron. I love it so
Wow.
much. Yeah.
Guys,
So many good Jill Scott Heron samples, man.
And
And I
I'm
feel like
obsessed.
that's like the driving force of like Kanye, to me at least, like his genius is that, or the reason I appreciate him so much or hated him so much as an artist was that you can tell this dude really loves music.
Yeah.
Like this guy listens to all, like the way you're able to sample so many, reference so many like nuanced parts of songs. Like you must just really love
Yeah, I
music,
listened to a
bro,
Kanye
when it
song
comes
yesterday
across.
Yeah.
that is a sample of some random 1950s song called like "When Is Santa Coming," and it's just the most obscure like you click on the art, like he credits it on Spotify, and the artist has like 500 monthly listeners or something, and you're just like, where the fuck did you find this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
thrifty.
Or like he like sampled like Omega, like that German.
It's that song where it
rock
goes.
group and New Slaves at the end.
Oh wait, which one? Wait, can you? What's the sample?
The New Slaves song on
Yeah.
Yeezus has that guitar part at the end. That's a German rock band from like the fucking 80s.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So just stuff like that.
Yeah.
right?
And that's
Like-
something to speak on AI. Like there's now this new AI program that you can use to like basically
jerk off.
basically you can use it as a tool to help like find samples easier. But the thing with that is that the artistic
What?
but the what's cool about Kanye using these samples is you can tell like we were just saying, like this guy really listens to music.
There's a
and
passion
like,
there
And like
for
this
him.
is a guy
He's
who's
not a calculated
like
move.
you're making a song and in the deep throes of his mind he goes, oh, I know this particular sound from this one song I know that would go perfect here, and he puts it in instead of just being like, I want this, and then AI gives it to you.
Yeah, you can see that even in his feature. Oh, sorry. I mean, I'm gonna, yeah. His featured artist too, because sometimes he like, for example, on his song, it reminds me of like Quentin Tarantino in a way, because you can tell Quentin Tarantino really loves movies, right?
Yes.
Those influence come through. And also Quentin Tarantino will cast actors that he just likes from older shit and like give them opportunities to be in newer stuff. And Kanye does that a lot too, where he had like Paul Wall and Drive Slow with him on Late Registration, right? Where it's like, you can tell that he thought to himself, you know who would sound really good on this verse? Paul Wall, like randomly, right? So he gets up
Wow.
Paul Wall and he puts him on this song, and like you get like a second win in your career.
You talked about
basically.
that with
That's a
like
great analogy.
like Justin Bieber did that with some sort of like
Oh, Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Despacito. So Daddy
Yeah.
Yankee was like at the forefront of like the whole reggaeton movement initially, like in the mid 2000s. So he was like one of the actual forefathers of it. So it was pretty tasteful that Justin Bieber's team and himself decided not to sort of just co-opt the style and, you know, like cut Daddy Yankee out of it. They like featured him on the song, basically Despacito, because it's like, we're taking your style basically,
Yeah.
but we're also elevating you. And it gave Daddy Yankee, obviously you get like a second win in your career. It's actually like,
if you don't know who Daddy Yankee
it's
is,
probably his
he
first
is-
time having any sort of mainstream
Success
success,
since-
right? And it's
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
it came around like basically 15 or like 10 to 15 years after you like started this movement.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
If you don't know
Justin
where-
Bieber, so I feel like I like that song a lot, and I
Great song.
actually like I fuck with Justin Bieber a lot.
Yeah, you know, I think
Maybe not anymore, but like he had like
I
a
like
really
late
solid
stage Justin
run.
Bieber for sure. When,
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
pops up, it's usually good. If you don't know who Daddy Yankee is, he's Papa Cocaina, right? That's a song, no? Am I wrong?
Dame tu gasolina.
Oh yeah, Gasolina. That's right. That song.
Fuck was it? What'd you say? Give me that Fanta. What'd you say?
I said Papa Cocaina. I replaced gasoline with cocaine.
I think what you're
Whoops.
saying is probably like another song that sounds similarly.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, look at that all out.
Wait, what else is on that list?
58. And now here's Wonderwall
Oh, what's the
Oasis?
story? What's the story? Morning Glory by Oasis.
by Oasis.
You listen to Oasis, Nathan?
No.
What is
Well,
that? Is
me
that,
neither.
You're
Good for
my
you.
Wonderwall. That's a song that every college dude plays on their acoustic
You know the song
guitar.
Wonderwall? You heard the song
Oh,
Wonderwall?
the
Nathan?
guitar guy.
Today is gonna be
No.
Blink 182 better be on this list somewhere.
say it again, but I don't know how. That song? Bye bye. I fucking love that song in high school. I'm so tired.
Straight
of it
Outta
now.
Compton.
I
is
can
that
never listen to
70?
that goddamn song again. You're gonna be the one that. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
I need some more alternative rocks on the Marshall Mathers LP. Is
Dude,
80.
I feel like that one's like kind of. I mean, that's a good. I love that album.
50
That's a good
Cent, Get
album.
Rich or Die Trying.
No,
82.
no.
love
Culturally
50 Cent.
significant, yes, but like not. It's
Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg.
Fuck
84.
yeah, that's a great pick. So that's a pick that. So I feel like this list is like fair because there's some things that are just goofy, but there's some that are like nice. Like that was a good move. So I feel like Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, his debut solo album, is like has been like criminally just overlooked by most mainstream listeners because to most mainstream listeners, their first exposure to Snoop Dogg was probably Drop It Like It's Hot, like in 2004.
Yeah.
Which is a song that came out 10 years after Doggy Style. So with Doggy Style, you see him like basically like in rare form, basically, as he appeared on The Chronic with Dr. Dre, right? So it's like around the same age and he's just like hitting his stride as an artist and it's really good. Like he has like Dr. Dre and like the whole G-Funk sort of production in full form at its peak. So like production wise, it sounds amazing. That's a really good album.
But something about this, as scrolling by it, like obviously you can disagree with where stuff is and whatever. But one thing it makes you realize is that there is so much good music out there.
Yeah, no,
Hotel
seriously.
California is number 99.
I love
Yeah.
that song.
I don't really like
crazy.
that album.
It's not. Well, yeah, it's a song,
Bro,
but also an album.
actual Nathan had never listened to that album until very recently.
Why are you saying actual Nathan?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Nathan hadn't listened to that. For a
Nathan
while.
didn't listen to that until
That's why
very
I love
recently.
it so much. It's so new.
But yeah,
I was like,
it's
Nathan,
just-
you're
it's
from
just
you're
so-
from California. What are you doing, man?
Really? You guys like that album?
Yeah, dude. It's
I mean,
great.
I
just
don't
like
know.
that
I
one
mean, to be
song.
fair, I had a Midwestern white dad, so
No, it's so
Heard it.
good.
So
I
what's the
think.
name of the song and also the album though that it's on? Is
Yeah.
Hotel California.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so there's more. Yeah,
Eponymous.
I think the Rage Against the Machine album was a good one to include,
Yeah.
but I think Evil Empire by Rage Against the Machine. I listened to that album recently while reading the lyrics and like that was fucking tight,
But
dude. Like
I
they're so.
I
that's a
do
good band.
appreciate
That's
that.
a really good band.
I appreciate that Apple put this together because, like, I think a lot of people have just fallen into the Spotify syndrome where it just keeps on suggesting the same songs to you over and over again.
Yeah, there's some good
And
picks here.
This can make you realize that, like, there's a lot of stuff out there you probably haven't heard, and this is your gateway to discovering those.
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, it's funny you say that because like that was my gateway when I was in high school was when Rolling Stone published their list of like the 100 best albums and artists
Yeah.
and songs. So they went through this whole gauntlet. So that was like me. I would go through these I would go through and read the blurbs.
Wow.
And basically be like, oh,
That's
that sounds
cool.
interesting, or like that doesn't sound interesting because that was
explains a lot,
my
'cause
autistic quirk.
I thought I basically
That was
once
my
I met,
neurodivergent quirk.
once
was,
I met Shane and like hung out with him enough for him to like for me to realize how much he knows about music. I
Yeah, this
realized
is so fun to
I
listen
thought- I
to.
thought you were
realized
taking
how
that in
little
a-
I know. Basically,
I thought you were taking that in a different direction. Like, yeah, once I met Shane, he just like realized how autistic he was. And it was like how autistic he was about music, man.
I definitely saw that quirk come through.
Once I met Shane, I felt more comfortable listening to hip hop music. For some reason.
Your favorite artist, Vanilla Ice, Eminem.
Yeah,
Machine Gun Kelly.
There's an episode where I just named all the top rappers and that they're all white.
Wait, really?
Logic.
Because I was just making a joke.
Logic.
What do you guys think
I was
of?
concerned
I was like
for a
Machine Gun Kelly.
What do you guys
Mac
think
Miller.
of "Take Care" by Drake at 47?
I saw that and I thought that maybe the one where his head's above nothing was the same should have been there instead.
What do you think, Nathan?
Wait, what was the album for Take Care look like?
It has him when he's like he's like.
Oh my god, I
having
love that album.
There's a little bird statue and to me it looks like
It's
he's holding
47.
Oh my
yeah.
god, I love that
But
What do
album.
you think of
about
that?
that
What do you think
cover?
of that placement, Nathan? 47.
Oh, I don't really care where it's placed. I'm glad it got
You like
any.
that?
Hey, that's a
Yeah.
good perspective.
Yeah, that is
I'm
a
not
good
gonna say it
perspective.
deserves to be in like the top 50. No.
Well, it should. Yeah, you gotta
thing
stand
about
behind that
that-
shit. This is podcasting. This ain't no game.
the thing about that album cover is I cannot. Whenever I look at it, to me it looks like he's holding a chicken drum.
He's not.
No, it's a little bird statue. You see it?
He's not.
Right? Doesn't it look like that though?
You thought it was a chicken wing?
Finally, something I know about music that Shane doesn't know.
Well,
Drake
yeah,
is
'cause
not
I'm not a
holding
dork. I'm not into Drake.
a drum of chicken. Hey,
I
fuck
don't
you.
listen to Drake.
You know,
Wait. I thought you were black.
bro, I know
I don't
something.
think any black person's fucking with Drake these days.
The best part about like Take Care
Damn, I
being
gotta
on this
adjust.
list is like Take Care is like great because Drake needs to take care of a lot of shit. It's just reminding Drake.
Oh, yeah,
this
you
is
do
his best
need to
album,
take
right?
care, homeboy.
Take care of Take care of the kids, Drake.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
be back. I need to go to the
We're at
there-
one. We're at one. We can probably wind down and
Okay.
end this shit.
Follow me nowhere.
All right.
can do
Well,
the reads.
yo, Christian, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah,
It's
no
great
problem,
having your
dude.
perspective. Come back
Yeah, thanks for
anytime.
coming back to the
Yeah,
pod.
Nathan, I appreciate you came with a unique style this week.
Yeah.
Nathan, you really switched
Very
it up
unique
this week
style.
mid recording.
You switched it up
your
from,
style has
from
really worked out.
from
Yeah,
rolling
so
up your
appreciate
shirts,
having you.
rolling
Yeah.
up the arms on your shirts, and wearing
Yes.
boots and
All right,
jeans.
to anyone watching, sorry for the exposure to my beastly thighs, but
Hey, I'm more sorry about my thighs. They're probably blinding.
make sure you stretch out yours and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
There you go.
And go watch Mad Max if you want or not.
Mad Max Furiosa for me, thumbs down. Everyone else, thumbs sideways to up.
All right,
45 degrees.
Is it over?
It's over.
All right,
Good
dude, that
night.
movie fucking sucked.